my period, I am heavily bleeding.
Oh heavens, not on this channel.
Entirely.
Mods,
Yeah,
censor
right?
that.
Blood. I am like
A bodily function. Bleh.
women? No.
Women?
No.
Women.
Oh my god, actually, fun story about that. I posted on TikTok as a comment in response to somebody being like, female VTuber? In a question, and I was like, women don't exist, and TikTok was like, that's against community rules to say that, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, I understand why, but also, oh man,
Stupid woke TikTok.
yeah, right.
Really funny though, Jesus.
But anyways, I'm like very much so dying, and I'm so tired because obviously your body is just like, oh yay, let's do this stupid bodily function. And I messaged my Discord and I was like, I don't think I can stream today. And all of them were like, that's fine. Go sleep. And I'm like, okay. And I would hope that every creator has that kind of community that is very much so like, we would prefer you not die.
Yeah.
If you want the vagina, you have to accept that sometimes stuff comes out of it.
Exactly.
I'm crying.
You don't get
Exactly.
the you don't get the goodie bag without finding out what's inside it first.
Welcome into this episode of the Devs Podcast. I'm your host, Atramentum_X, variety streamer and LewdTuber. This is episode 48, the Lewd pivot. We're talking about the transition into sex work for SASA VTubers. Now, not everyone starts LewdTubing. Some people start off as established streamers. I personally started off as a LewdTuber, but I'm always willing to hear and interested to hear from other folks who have different experiences. I am soloing this night. Lady Mystique is currently traveling right now and is unable to make it tonight. Feeling a little under the weather. So no co-host tonight. I'm solo flying this one. If you miss her, just watch any of the previous 47 episodes, I suppose. I'm going to go into introductions for our lovely panel. We've got 2 returning guests and a first-timer as well. So making her return to this podcast from all the way back in episode 9, I think it might have been.
9?
Wow.
Yeah. It's been a hot minute. Things have changed quite a bit for this guest.
Second. That's crazy.
Welcome back to the podcast, Pocket Trash.
Hi, everybody. I was just thinking about that earlier because I'm pretty sure one of the things I said in that previous one was like, I want my character to be sexualized.
Yes.
As I was thinking about it, I was like, oh wait.
We're gonna cut back to that exact
Wait.
scene like right
For me
now.
to
Just
be.
cut away.
Yeah. That was just Patricia. It's fine.
Patricia Trash.
Yeah. It's fine.
Trash
It's
trash?
fine. My audio's messed up. Already?
You're okay. You're just a
Uh-oh.
little loud. And I've put you down to 85%. You're fine.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Hello.
You sound fine to me.
Okay, cool. Coolio. Hello. I'm Pocket Trash. For those of you who don't know me, I go by she, her. I don't know how to do introductions, but hey, how you doing?
Pocket is a pastel pink princess. Has been a SASA streamer for how many years?
2 years?
2-ish years. 2-ish years.
Some sort of year?
Somewhat recently decided to start streaming on Fansly. We'll get more into that decision and how it's been working out for Pocket, but let's just say quite a bit's changed since episode 9. Thank you so much, Pocket. Next up, we've got Fuoka, aka Fu.
Hello, my name is Fuofu. You don't have to say Fuoka because usually no one can ever say it. I'm usually the Daylight content creator on Twitch, but I decided to join the LewdTuber site early in January this year, so I'm very new to it, but I enjoy it a lot and I'm very nervous and very honored to be here.
Oh, don't be nervous.
Chat. She just sounds nervous. She's just German. It's the same thing.
Wow. That's
Start the Google Docs, everybody.
Listen, I'm America. America is back, and this panel of Canadians and Germans cannot tell me what to do.
That's insane, crazy.
See, this is why I need Lady Mystique here to tamp me down, because I'm just saying ridiculous stuff.
We're being silenced by
newspaper.
by the man. Help,
man speak.
Mystique. We're blinking.
And Fu, how long have you been streaming, by the way?
Normal streaming for like about 2.5 years now, yeah.
Yeah. Say so, or quote unquote normal streaming. Haha, just kidding, guys. For 3 years. Start the docs. Thank you so much, Fu. And don't be nervous. I was really excited to speak to you in particular because you sort of addressed your transition to lewd content earlier this month. And the minute I saw that, I'm like, we got to talk about this on the podcast.
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah. And last but not least, I don't even know how many appearances it's been at this point, probably 5 or 6.
I don't even know. I think
One
this
of
makes
our
number 5, possibly number 6.
Possibly
I'm
number
not
5,
sure.
yeah. One of our most prolific guests on this podcast, Raina the Mouse, aka Mouse Raina, making the return. Raina, tell us a bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Raina, also known as that Milk Mama Mousy. I'm the captain of the Great Ship Aurelia, and I do my best to keep most of my shenanigans behind my quarter doors. But sometimes, especially when I'm around Atra, I sneak the door open a little bit and let everybody in on some of the secrets.
They call me the door jammer.
What can I
Thank
say?
you,
You do have the equipment that fits well into gaps.
The door
Thank you.
stoppers.
The door stopper. Thank you so much, Raina. I adore Raina. I adore all these people here, but I adore Raina too, especially.
Aww.
Aww.
Yeah, but everyone here on this podcast, Pocket, Fu, and Raina, has started at some point with SFW Say So content. Raina, by the way, how many years has it been?
Of doing safer work content?
Yeah, when did you start? And when did you start?
Oh,
doing it?
oh god. I started streaming like 5 years ago.
About 5
something like
years
that.
ago. Yeah.
About 5 years ago. And when I started, I was a filthy flesh tuber. I was a face cam streamer.
Oh, my
God.
Yeah. And
Oh, no.
that was definitely like the peak of my I didn't want anyone to like, unsacent me and all that stuff. I was just very, very straight-laced aside from the occasional crude joke and pirate humor. But then I became a PNG tuber and I did the transition into spicier stuff. Strong pivot into it about 2.5 years ago. Soft pivot 3.5 years ago.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Raina.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we have Raina having had done. That's not English. Having done lewd content for about 2 years.
I'm
now.
having had done lots of things, Atra.
Having had done many things. Fu, relatively new to it at about 2 months. This is February of 2025. If you're like listening to this, and Pocket having done it for a couple of months now. So we've got some folks who are relatively newer to this, and some folks who are relatively more experienced. And me personally, I've been doing it for 2 years, but I started doing lewd. Yeah. Anyway. We have a link that you can submit questions. I'm going to post that in chat briefly. You guys can ask questions of our panel here. Those were anonymous, and if you don't care to be anonymous, you can just post it right in chat too, and we'll get to them when we get to them. But we'll start with something a little easy, and it's this. Did you always know that you wanted to do sex work? What was your inspiration that triggered your move into the sex worker space?
Can I start?
Yes, you
Go
may.
for it, Fu.
So the thing is, I've always thought about it, especially like even before I was streaming. I was actually considering doing it in real life, and then I started streaming. But I've always felt like a disconnect between my online personality and my real personality, and I was extremely say so on stream. And people came into chat and called me mommy and everything. And at some point, the word mommy was even banned in chat because I was just like, nah, I don't want that. I don't want that. But at some point, I was just, I don't know, it kind of like clicked because people still tried it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just reclaiming this for myself. So I started to do more like mommy voice stuff and everything. And like, eased into it, but I still had that kind of like a wall that I had to break through. And then end of last year, I was just like, fuck it, I'm not happy with my content, but I want to do content and I want to try new stuff. I've always been the person who always wanted to do other things, but I just didn't know what it was. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try this and see how it feels. And yeah, now I'm here. So it was a mix of like, yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with that. I just had to get there. If that makes sense.
You masked it very well, I would say, because when I first met you, and I did know Fu before Fu had done any lewd content. I had no idea. I had no guess that you were interested in doing lewd content. It was quite a surprise.
As I said, it was like I've always been a very sexual person in real life as well. But yeah, online it was always like a very hard disconnect. But now I'm feeling absolutely comfortable, and I can just say my online personality is my personality 100%.
That's very lovely.
Like in every aspect. So
So has the word mommy been unbanned from your chat?
These are the questions.
Okay. I just wanted to know, because if you don't like being called mommy, that's another thing. That's so valid. I wouldn't want you to be like, oh, actually, I'm only doing it because people forced me into it, and I would have felt a little sad if that was
forced.
No. It was
hentai
forced mommy.
So I'm more of a sub personally, but I can do both. So yeah, no, I really just wanted to reclaim it for myself and be like, you know what, I can do this, and I'm not ashamed of it, and I don't want to give people the power over me by doing something that I don't want, and rather embrace it and stop fighting it, and rather make it my own instead of like people trying to push my boundaries.
That's great.
Yeah, like this can't hurt me anymore because I've claimed ownership of it.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the idea behind it.
Totes fair.
Absolutely.
Just tell them to start calling you daddy.
Yeah, no. We actually have had both situations here. We've had people who make mommy content who are in fact themselves submissive, but do it for the online sort of like persona. And we've also got femme presenting people who say, don't call me mommy, call me daddy. And people do. And it works really well for them.
Daddy is a state of mind. So is mommy.
True.
How about you? How about Pocket and Raina? And by the way, guys, you don't have to go in any particular order. Just hop in and whenever you have a thought, I suppose. Yeah.
Free, Raina.
Oh, me next? Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, I was good with Pocket go before me. That's fine. People have heard me talk here a lot. They've heard me.
I like hearing you talk.
Canadians.
Oh,
so
that's
polite.
very sweet. Yeah, as what our Canadian is showing.
Real.
Yeah. So just to remind myself of the question, it's
what inspired you to do sex work, and did you always know you wanted to do sex work?
So for me, my transition to it was actually a little bit weird because like I kind of went from doing IRL stuff to safe for work stuff, then using my VTuber model, and now I'm kind of back doing not safe for work stuff. I kind of like went sort of like a sine graph. It kind of went up and down for me for a little while. So those that have been around me or have heard me talk on Atra stuff before will know that for a while, when pretty much the moment I turned like 18 to 19, I started doing freelance modeling. And then I transitioned into doing not safe for work modeling and being an art model for like art classes and things like that, which tends to prevalently be like nudity and things like that. So like I already had a fair semblance of confidence, at least to a degree, in my own body. And part of it as well was like I wanted to claim confidence in this thing because I did not like how my body looked, but by seeing it in other forms and in different perspectives, it helped me to appreciate the things I didn't like about myself, and it made me love my body in different ways.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, so that was kind of a nice thing. Of course, there were times where photographers were like, "Oh, hey, for a little bit of extra money, you can." And I'm like, "Nope, our contract has ended. Goodbye." So like, I was fine doing like erotic photography and stuff like that. So, which in and of itself is a subgenre of sex work because it is themed fantasy erotica. So for me, like that was kind of my dipping the piggies in to the erotic world and not safe for work content on a more mainline sentence. And then I took a massive break from it for a while, started doing the VTubing thing, and then about 2.5 years ago, I started talking to my well, now fiance. I asked him like, hey, are you comfortable with me going back into photography and into the modeling stuff again and kind of going back into the not safe for work side of things? Because I'm naturally a lewd, crude, piratey non-dude. So like it was very easy for me to like make sex jokes and stuff like that, and then making those connections with other lewd tubers. And then I started rediscovering the fun of that world. I was like, this is what I missed. This is what I missed. This is what I remember enjoying so much about the erotic photography and the modeling and stuff like that. And it was a bit more obviously intermingled. And so it was something I was more than comfortable returning to and going farther in. So like the transition for me was more of this feels like it makes sense for me, and I know I would be happy doing it. But it was less of oh no, I'm jumping into the deep end of something I know nothing about. I was like, no, I've done like mild sex work to a degree, so it wasn't as strong of a pivot for me. However, when I started my fansly, that was the moment where I'm like, this is where I might lose people, because now the fantasy is becoming more of a pseudo reality,
Right?
And it's gonna open a certain level where people are like, flirting and jokes is one thing, actually seeing the mussy up close is going to be an entirely different experience.
See, I'm crying. I'm sorry. I love that.
My mussy and my middies all up in 3D. But yeah, no, it's
I was gonna be like, please don't tell
was...
me people have been weird about that, being like, oh my god, you ruined my immersion. Like, oh my god, I can't believe you're not really a mouse girl.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I have had a few people, and especially when because I started my fansly with photography versus doing any of the stream stuff. There were definitely a few people who were like, oh my god, there's actually a real person behind this. And I'm like,
You're really a woman?
I hate to tell you
Oh
this.
my god, imagine.
But...
No, but you know what it is
wild concept,
too?
I know.
It's that there are I don't know, they're vocal, but they're not very large segment of people who are like, VTubers shouldn't do this, VTubers shouldn't show flesh, they shouldn't actually make sexual content. So they really will be like, oh, you're like not a not a VTuber anymore.
I've had that myself,
People are smelly.
Yeah, well, it's also people who are like, oh, well, it's like, it's the same people who are Puritans about like sticking to your lore of your character. I'm like,
true.
Vince, sometimes I'm just a tired bitch that likes to play
gatekeepers,
Balatro.
yes,
Just let me roll.
I love Balatro.
Same.
We need a counter for the amount of times Balatro was mentioned in this podcast. But how about you, Pocket? Did you always kind of know that you wanted to do sex work, or is this a more recent revelation for you?
So at least in VTubing, the original idea wasn't for full sex work. It was just kind of like, oh, I want to stream, but I don't want to deal with putting on a face with makeup, so I'm going to make a VTuber. But I have done like sex work in my IRL life, and my chat knew about that from the get-go. I was a sugar baby for a few years, like on and off with different partners. So yeah, right. I was a broke university student, and Mans was like, let me give you a stack of cash. And I was like, you know what? Yes, capitalism, work in my favor. You know what? If old men are going to fetishize me for being East Asian, I might as well get money out of it. That's the way
That's
that
just
I saw
reparations,
it.
honestly.
Right, reparations. I agree. So I was like, cool. And like my chat hadn't like, I think I had maybe 2 months maybe of like when I first started that I wasn't 18 plus. And then after a certain amount of time, I was like, I can't not swear. I'm really bad at not swearing. And I feel really weird if like an 11-year-old, or like, I guess technically the youngest age you could be is like what, like 13 or something like
13,
that.
yeah.
13.
And like, I would feel really weird if I'm like, oh yeah, me at my full-time job and some 13-year-olds like coming in being like, can you help me with my multiplication? Like, I don't know, it just felt really weird. So then I made the switch to 18 plus, but it was just so I could like make my typical like haha funny lewd jokes and like, you know, I don't know,
kids.
like yeah, like, and not deal with tiny children and just like, you know, obsess over women the way that I do, because I have recently coined the term I will be everybody's friendly neighborhood simp tuber. And I just simp over people and they're beautiful and it's great. It's wonderful. Guys, chat. I was flashbanged with titties when I first got into this chat. So you're welcome. It was great. It was wonderful. But yeah, and then transitioning into Fansly, I had already done like photo sets, like where it was like, oh, chat would buy me something on Throne and it would be like a cute Moe flavor outfit, and I'd be like, cool, I'm gonna take photos. And I think the very first photo I posted of my IRL self was like me wearing these like cute thigh highs somebody bought me, and I was like, nice, great, thigh highs. Yeah. And then people were like, oh my god, thighs. And I was like, oh, right, I forgot the internet is like weird. Yeah, my bad.
You can end the sentence there. I forgot the internet.
Yeah, I forgot the internet. That's it. That's the whole sentence.
Puts a little bit of armpit in it. Oh, I forgot the internet.
Yeah. Oh, truly. Yeah. I think I accidentally, like, I didn't even say accidentally. Like, I mean, like, I made some tweet recently about like, oh, I'm getting a pedicure and I'm so stressed because they have way too many pinks. And all I know is I'm supposed to get something pink, but I don't know which pink to pick. And then everybody was like, photos. And I was like, what? And I remember I posted it. Yeah, and I posted it on Twitter because I was like, okay, I did bring it up, fine, whatever. And I remember going back, it was at the end of 2024. I was going back for like a little segment on my channel where I like looked through like my best Twitter memes that did like the best, like I guess in terms of like interactions or whatever. The feed picture was within the top 5, and I was like, I just posted
Oh, you put it out there for free? You can't be doing it for free. There's a feed economy.
Well, that's the thing. You got that promotional material. Them
I know. It was very confusing though. I was like, why is everybody looking at my toe?
It's so funny.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think the transition was always kind of like, it was an easy transition, but it wasn't like, it wasn't planned, I guess. Like it just kind of like was like, cool, I'm gonna take photos. And like, it was so, I was selling the photo sets anyways, but then it was more like if you tip my coffee, I will send you the photos on like Discord. But then that was just like really difficult to manage. And then Patreon was like, oh, maybe we won't allow NSFW stuff. And I was like, okay,
oh God, that whole
what
thing.
do I do? And then somebody was like, Fansly? And I was like, oh, and then it kind of just like snowballed, you know? I think it was supposed to originally be photos. And then
That's
I was like, oh.
It's like you start a Fansly for like to do like
snowball.
photos or something like that. Then you start live streaming. Then you put a toy on and get a toy involved.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're moaning like a slut.
That sounds like me.
Yeah. No. I started the Fansly just to watch Mystique.
Funny, I got my Fansly account because I wanted to watch Atra.
Oh my god, twinsies!
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I love that.
I love the joke we heard there.
I did not watch anyone on Fansly. You were the only one.
Oh,
I made my Fansly account because of you.
I'm stunned. Really?
Oh,
that's
under his
precious.
desk right now, chat.
You've come so far. I'm so
Licking his
fucking proud
feet.
of you.
Oh.
Just suddenly hear a thunk under his microphone.
Wrong ASMR.
Oh God, I've got an appreciation boner. Help!
Listen, my praise kink's not that high. It's a little high.
Are you sure?
Yeah, fuck, damn it. Anyway, feet. Yo, we need to talk about feet on this podcast at some point. Feet is a real thing.
Feet. How have you done 48 episodes and you haven't talked about feet?
I know.
Yeah,
You know you gotta
That's
ask Real
crazy.
be on
Yeah,
this for
that's-
that.
We
You could
just
have
got
an
to cucking like in
entire-
the last episode.
You could have an entire like every episode based on different like body thing, like feet, armpits, knees.
I was
If
thinking
you do
armpits
it-
next. Yeah.
If you do it in a while, I swear to God, I'll bring it with the new model with the toe tappies.
Toe tappies.
Okay, bet. Just everyone will be
I love
standing on the
that.
table for that episode.
There was a running
Can you tell whose VTuber this is by their feet?
new segment. It's the intermission part of Into the Depths where like there's just like elevator music playing and it's like, who's that VTuber? And it's like,
It's
I don't know, feet.
It's just feet.
It's Pikachu.
Yes.
It's Reina. No.
All right. I'm going to take some questions from Marshmallow. You guys are too much.
I thought there was somebody in chat named Marshmallow for a second, and I was like, who?
Yeah, that's what I
Like, oh,
thought too,
Marshmallow out here asking all the
honestly.
important questions.
Yeah. Accurate.
So this one actually is a bit different from what we're talking about, but we received it before stream started, so I wanted to get to it. So this person asks, and this is a creator, have any of you found that after switching to more lewd content that there's significantly less traffic on anything that isn't lewd? For example, I spent weeks creating multiple hours of content for my own channel, only for it to pull the worst numbers of anything I've ever done. I won't lie, it's been a huge hit to me because I was genuinely proud of it, and I have struggled to get the motivation to make any content for months now because of it. Follow-up question, have any of you experienced something similar? How did you overcome it?
For me, it was definitely the other way around. My community has grown so much stronger and so much like more active since I've been doing this. And because I think genuinely because they feel that this is what I really want to do and what I always seem to lack. I always seem to lack like this inspiration of doing things. So for me personally, it was definitely the other way around, that they really are more engaged even and more interested than before.
But do you find that people may be a little less interested in your safe for work content now that you do look to?
No, definitely not. On the contrary, I have a lot of people who come from Fansly to my Twitch, even though they know I'm not naked on Twitch. So I definitely feel that people like everything I do in the same regard and support each side, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I will say,
I'm-
like,
honestly,
oh, sorry. What?
No, Pocket,
Okay.
you first. You first.
Oh, first Pocket, then Reina. Yes.
Panic.
Yes.
I will say that like I think part of it is that Fansly particularly has a better showcasing of like, oh, who is streaming on Fansly. Like so I will say like
Visibility.
I get a lot better numbers on Fansly when it comes to streaming than I do on Twitch. I will agree that like it definitely does feel a little odd sometimes because like I have like a weird identity crisis when it comes to like things that are lewd because like I've never like even like fully labeled myself like a lewd tuber, even though I know that's logically what I am. But
Right.
it's not, and it's not that there's anything bad with being a lewd tuber. Like I love my friends who are lewd tubers and I love the content that I'm making. I think it's just that like it's not my sole focus.
Mhm.
Like I spend the majority of my time on Twitch. I spend a lot more time promoting my Twitch than I do my Fansly, but I make more money off of my Fansly. So I like the money, don't get me wrong. Who wouldn't like it? You know, I like to be able to afford strawberries. But
Oh, mood.
yeah, right? I like to be able to afford fruit, but I will say that like sometimes like there is like moments where it's just like, damn, like is there that moment of like I am just like coom material for people and like outside of that I'm not someone worth watching. So like there's definitely I will preface by saying yo girl's got mad anxiety, okay? So a lot of it isn't even just that like my community isn't showing up. Like I love my trashies and the Fansly community, which we call the smashies, love them both.
Aw.
Oh, that's
They're
cute.
wonderful. Everybody there has been very kind and very wonderful. I think there's always this this like pressure for you to like, okay, I'm succeeding or I'm doing something that I really like, therefore it has to succeed, and if it doesn't, then it's a failure. When like the reality of it is, like, if you're making long form content that hopefully is going to stay up, like if you're making YouTube videos or if you're making, I don't know, TikToks or whatever, the idea is like, you know, you're putting it out there and maybe it might not grow when you post it, but all of a sudden it'll grow out of nowhere. You know, like I think just expecting immediate, you know, growth from things can be something really detrimental to a lot of our creators' like health and brains. But yeah, I feel you, Anon. It no feel good. However, what I find helps is I at some point will just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna play this game because I want to play this game, and I'm gonna do this thing because I want to do this thing, and I don't give a fuck if you guys want me to or not. I'm gonna do it. And my editor has said that he actually thinks that I make the funniest content that way, where it's literally just me. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes just like reconnect. It sounds so stupid and like cliche, but like reconnecting with the reasons why you started content in the first place. Like I started it just because I thought it would be funny. And because I was like, hee, I'm really bad at games and I didn't grow up playing the games that a lot of people grew up playing. So I'm going to play these games and like, hee, I can't do these. And now everybody makes fun of me because I can't play platformers. And it's really
Oh, that's such a move.
Oh, no, same though.
It was so much fun. It was very stressful. Anyways, that's my ramble.
I think it's a very good one. I mean, I feel the same way when I play Balatro. I'm like, you're gonna watch me play this, and I don't care if you like it or not. Chat.
Oh my god, I love Balatro.
Yeah. Literally the moniker I throw on when people come in from a raid, I'm like, hello, I usually I do a variety of things, usually poorly. So I set the expectation out there, like out the gate, like, hey, you're here because you wanted to watch me, not because you wanted to see someone do this well.
Oh my god, yes. The number of people who truly like come to VTubers and they're like, wow, I can't believe you're really bad at this game. And I'm like, I'm sorry, where in my content did it say pro gamer? I'm stupid. Leave me alone.
And this is why I only play one game on stream and nothing else.
That's so valid. That's very valid.
Secret Mousy, expert CSGO player. You'll never know. But no, God, no. It wasn't until I started playing Arma that I even did anything with mouse and keyboard because I realized I really could not hit anything with my controller.
Very valid.
But I'm a controller scrub. I'm not too proud to admit that.
Truly, if you can play shooters with a controller, I envy you because I don't understand. I tried with Halo and the struggle. It was a struggle.
Yeah.
I will admit I'm much better. I'm actually I'm half decent at Horizon and I can hit primarily headshots with my controller.
Ooh.
But other shit, God help me.
Wow.
To based on the question, just like it's super disheartening when something that you put a lot of work into doesn't pan out, and that really goes for whether it's like sex work based or not, like and sometimes it's almost a little bit more devaluing when it's a sex work thing because now you're like, I've put myself on display, possibly quite literally, and nothing happened, and I'm just like, oh good, I'm not even good for this anymore. And then just like slowly sinking into the middle distance. So honey, Pocket, I am right with you when it comes to the anxieties on that kind of thing, especially when it's just like there are moments where sometimes when you're doing something and you put a lot of time and effort into it and you're proud before finally releasing it, and then you're sat there and you're waiting and you're holding your breath and you're just like, huh, any minute now. Where are you? Just
where's my validation?
Yeah, and I will say, like, as much as it's gross to think about, yeah, sex sells. Like, you know, when you put something out on display with you, whether you put it as like amazing project I've worked on for God knows how long, blah blah blah, and then you do amazing project I've worked on for God knows how long, blah blah blah, plus boobs. The plus boobs is probably going to do a little bit better, and that's unfortunately just algorithm. Like,
yeah.
But the fact is, you have to put the value you put into something, you have to have it deep inside you. Not that way. You need to have it like
Yes, that way.
that came out of my mouth. I'm like, hold
He's
on.
got to take it hard. But he's
You
into
have
it.
to hold. Yes, that way.
Yeah.
Be the emotional size queen you dream to be. But no, for real though, like when it comes to working on a project, nothing should diminish the pride you have in yourself for doing the work, for getting that effort, putting yourself out there, because that alone is scary. Sometimes people won't see it. Sometimes the algorithm will fuck you over and no one's gonna notice it. And sometimes your post will suddenly become the cult classic of Twitter. And for some reason, something is just getting so much traction and you don't know why.
And now you're
posted it
canceled.
2 months ago.
And now you have to delete all of your socials and
Yeah, or it's just still like, or it's like you're working on something completely different now, and people are still asking you about that thing, and you're like,
You're just, like, known for that
hello?
thing
I don't
now.
do that anymore. But
Minecraft,
okay.
and you're like, I haven't played Minecraft in a year. Hello.
Yeah, and there is definitely sometimes a correlation between like when you start doing sex work, you start doing adult work, and things like that, and you post something non-adult related, and some of your audience is confused. They'll be like, I'm here for boobs, why are they not there? And it's kind of like, all right. But the thing is, you have to remember the people you're trying to make this content for are not the people who are going to be of that mindset. And yeah, sometimes you really do just have to hope that you hit people at the right time zone, the right moment, that you're not caught up in the tidal wave of it's 2 p.m. where are your VTubers, and then everyone is either awake or has gone live, and so there's like a fucking like tidal wave of content that your one post just gets kind of buried in. And it sucks. It really does suck when that happens. And I can tell you, Anon, it's not going to, how do I word this? It will not change, but how you feel about it will. The more confidence you build in yourself and assuredness you build in your own content and your ability to do these things and do them damn fucking well will make these small down moments, they will hurt, but they will hurt less. And genuinely, one of the biggest things, and I'm sure everybody here can attest to this as well, one of the things that you'll get to learn how to have, as not just being a VTuber, that's just doing content in general, is to build up a bit of a thicker skin and realize, okay, well, this didn't do well. Was it something I could have changed? Is there something I could have done to make this better? Or did I just really kind of drop the ball on the time placement? Or did it just not line up? No matter what, a failure can still be a good thing, even if it doesn't feel like it. And just because it wasn't something sex work related doesn't mean you failed or that you need to suddenly make it about sex work to make it good. You are good on your own. Your skills are there and present no matter what it is that you are doing. How you choose to present it is something that you need to be proud in.
And you tried, you did something.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
posted
not
it.
like you tried
You've
something and
already
it didn't
done
work.
something
It's-
everyone else
yeah.
fails to do a lot of the time.
It's better to put something out there and then it fails than not doing anything in the first place.
This is
Exactly.
true. Mm-hmm.
Don't adopt the defeatist
Exactly.
mindset that like nobody wants to see this stuff from me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A what mindset?
Defeatist
Defeatist.
mindset.
Not a fetus
defeatist.
mindset.
I
Defeatist.
heard
Not
fetus,
fetus.
and I was like, what did the fetus have to do with this?
Oh my god.
God, you with your unborn concept. How could you?
Oh my god. Okay, I
What
understand.
an abortive
Got it.
concept. Okay.
Woo.
Oh my god.
I will say
my God.
this, Anon.
Atra.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure to which platform this refers to, but I will say in my experience, Twitter is where content goes to die because Twitter
Oh,
is
yes.
the toilet paper of
Oh
content.
god, yeah.
It is
Twitter's stinky.
disposable, It's stinky.
Fuck Twitter,
And like,
yeah.
you know, once you put it out there, it gets flushed and it never comes back again.
Mhm.
Like, let me tell you something. Like, I put my ASMR videos on YouTube, and they sat there for like 3 months with minimal interaction, and then just one day, they all caught fire all at the same time. I've got 200,000 views on YouTube now, and like, it was just by putting my stuff on a different platform and just being patient, because It may not be noticed today, but if you put it on somewhere like Twitter where everything just flies into the wind, it'll never be seen by anybody.
Also, fun facts. You know, if you're posting it on TikTok and you're like, oh, it didn't do well, you know, you can just delete it and repost it. How will they know?
True.
They'll never know.
Repost it.
Repost it at a
You can
different
do that
time.
on
And
YouTube
it's like,
as well,
wow,
yeah.
surprise. I do that all the
quote
time.
tweet, do the shit to share your stuff around. Like, yeah.
I do that on Twitter all the time. I'll remake a meme. Unfortunately, I can't even be like, oh, it won't. Nobody will notice because my mods will be like, oh, I've seen this one before. Betrayed.
Wow, mods calling you out.
I know.
Rude.
I know. It's so rude. They're like, wow, I've seen this before.
See, the simple thing is when people are like, oh, I could have sworn I liked this already. Oh, yeah, no, the site must
Yeah,
have been
you're so
doing something
right.
weird.
Just
No,
gaslight
it's
them,
weird. So
like, yeah.
strange. Anyways, you should
Like,
like
oh,
it again.
you're so obsessed
Yeah,
with
just
me.
do it again. Oh my god. I can't believe you didn't like it the first time. Wow. Tell me you don't like me. That's mean. But yes, all in all, I think obviously everything we're saying is easier, but like it's easier. What is it? What's that saying?
Easier said
than done.
Yes,
Easier said than
yes,
done.
easier said than done. Like, I mean, I have been like super excited to put out like voice covers. I think that's where a lot of my anxiety comes from, is like I can throw photos up on Fansly and I'm like, man, I'm fucking hot in this photo because I've like looked at it enough that I'm like, okay, I'm okay with this. But with like voice content, I get a lot more nervous. So like I feel you there, where it's like, oh shit, like, you know, I posted this thing and I was really proud of it and it's not making the views that I want it to. But I think, again, if you're posting on something like YouTube, like you never know if it'll pop up later. You don't know if like maybe you just like, I like the one that I was super upset about not popping off. I posted it. It was a Christmas song and I posted it on Christmas. Obviously nobody's going to be going looking for Christmas songs after
Yeah.
Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just dumb and I should have posted it
Yeah.
later or like earlier. So like, I don't know, try it again next year, you know, depending on like what it is, or try it again in a few months. I also find just like, you know, letting people know. Sometimes people who are in your streams just like don't know that you post things. I tell my community all the time, and I'm like, did you know I have a YouTube? And some of them are like, oh, you post covers? And I'm like, yeah, like all the time. Well, not all the time, but sometimes. And sometimes they just don't know. So like, I don't know.
Yep.
Keep being your
have
biggest
a ping in
promoter.
your Discord. Be like video pings, new
Yeah.
videos up.
Exactly,
People want to
yeah.
support you.
Yeah,
Leverage that.
annoy
Don't
the
feel-
shit out of them.
don't be
at
humble about it.
everyone.
Yeah, just annoy people.
No, straight up, there's also like a really common thing where people will be like, oh, I follow you on this one platform. So there's this weird mental assumption of like, oh yeah, I followed them on all these other platforms, only for them to realize that, no, they've just been daisy chained through raids and quote tweets and retweets and God knows what else, and other people like sharing the content around, and suddenly the realization of like, oh, I haven't actually followed you on most of these sites. Oops. And the sudden realization of, oh, wow, there's actually a whole bevy of content that I didn't even know existed. And it's like,
Me.
double check if you're fascinated by something or someone that you've seen online, for the love of God, double check that you've actually followed them on the platforms that you're interested in.
That's true, yeah.
Because too many times I'm guilty of this. I'll follow people on Blue Sky and be like, yeah, I've seen your streams. Yeah, because I ended up in the daisy chain raid and I just thought I already lived there. And I was
Yep.
like, oh fuck, that heart
Me.
button's not pressed. Oops.
All the time.
Don't mind me, heart.
Yeah, don't mind me.
It's like,
3
haha,
months
don't
later.
call me out for this. I've only known you for a year.
Yeah, that's when you're like, oh no, Twitch says I definitely followed you before. Oh no. Yeah.
Yep, 100%. Girl boss gaslight, let's go.
Yay! Gatekeep.
So we have quite a few questions coming into Marshmallow. Thank you guys for using it.
Oh my god,
I'll
yay.
get to them in a sec.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take one of the prepared questions we have now, though, and it's about time management.
That's funny.
Next.
Next.
Can we skip? Can we
No skips.
My favorite question of the questions we saw earlier.
I like that
I'm
you
so
read
sorry.
them. I saw a list of things and I was like, ooh, that's a lot of reading, and then I walked away.
It's helpful to some people who like.
Oh
kind
no,
of,
it
like,
is
wanna
very helpful.
prepare,
I just got distracted.
and then some folks want to wing it, and that's all to fine too.
Eyes closed, head first, can't lose.
Yeah. We all know that, contrary to popular belief, sex work can be time-intensive, exhausting, and by no means quote-unquote easy money. How are you managing the increased stress, time, and physical effects of doing lewd content?
Poorly.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree. Poorly. I drink a lot.
Oh,
So like, to give you an honest answer, because like, it's always fun to piss take, but at the same time, also thank you, chat, for appreciating that, because it also came from a point of genuine feelings. But no, like, so the one thing that sucks about the things that I love to do is time management, because like a big part of what I do do a bunch of different little things that I don't always leave myself enough time to actually do. Because like, from like taking like a full photo set where it's like it's a full strip down, and then there's this bonus photos for the higher tiers and stuff like that, and like making sure that that's time scheduled and I've got everything good. And the other thing is, like I said, there are days where I'm like, I look in the mirror and I go, what is this potato that is wearing my face? And I just don't enjoy my body. And so, you know, that's not going to be the day where I go, yep, I'm going to take photos now. It's like, no, I'm going to sit in a dark room and stare at my screen for hours doing editing, because it means I don't have to look at myself for a while. And a lot of my time management comes from physical and emotional motivation, and being able to not only be comfortable with what I look like that day and how I sound like, but also what availability I've given myself to doing this. Because obviously I'm doing streams on Twitch, I'm doing streams on Fansly, I take photos on Fansly, I do audio work as well. I'm also putting more work into doing audio commission work, so stuff that doesn't get posted to my socials but is for other projects, some that I can and some that I can't talk about, and other stuff. And then there's also just, you know, life and taking care of yourself, because we take for granted how much time that actually takes. So like, probably the best way it comes to managing the increased stress and time and whatnot is ironically actually giving myself slightly less to do, because I've changed my stream schedule to being a little bit more restrictive, I guess I would say, because it means that I'm now dedicating certain amounts of my time to taking care of myself and doing that back-end work. Like, one of the things I need to do sometime next month is set up my new recording booth. But in order to be able to do that, here's 5 things I have to do beforehand to make that even possible, because I need to make that space available for me to use. So doing less to do more is actually a thing. It takes some practice, and God, you will suck at it, and you will fail for the first little while.
Yes.
But it's okay, because failing are steps to success. So yeah, for me, it's mostly like the thing that's helped me work on managing the stress, time, and physical effects of doing lewd content is giving myself the courtesy that I am but one person, and I'm not working with an agency, and that everyone needs breaks and everyone needs time to actually put things together. I can't just Wonder Woman spin my way into an outfit and do all the things that I need to do.
Now there's a set idea. Wonder Woman spin.
So for me, it's definitely the other way around. I'm sorry, I feel like the outlier here always.
No, that's
Because you're new, you're baby.
That's why we like these. It's for conflicting like opinions.
We'll have you back on in a year and
experience.
you'll be
We're
like,
not
I'm
gonna
so
be like,
fucking
oh,
tired.
no, you have to lie so that you fit ours.
No, for me, I have always been a very organized person. I have
What's that like?
I have I have a calendar where I have literally everything, like take a shower that day at that time, do your laundry that day, that
Oh,
time. I try. And so doing this now, it gives me more to do, which makes me happier, because I'm a happy person when I can do a lot of things and can plan more things, and just planning my time and scheduling my time gives me so much joy that for me, that's not stress. For me, it's like, oh, yay, I can plan my schedule for the next 2 weeks down to the minute. So for me, time management is something, exciting. And if my calendar is full, I'm like, fuck yeah, I love that. So I just yeah, I try to not only have stuff like, oh yeah, I have done a private session with a client, or I have to record this and this ASMR, or I have a movie night with Patreon or something, but just normal stuff as well, like that I make sure that I go grocery shopping or take care of my pets or something like that, and that helps me, I think, maybe
Do you
against
feel
the
like
burnout. I can't really say.
you need
Yeah.
to make more time for yourself now that you do lewd content? Do you feel like there's increased physical stress or emotional time that you need for yourself to decompress? Maybe.
On the contrary, I've never felt so alive.
Okay, that's so fair. Yeah, that's so
I've
fair.
never.
Oh, I remember
felt
those
alive
days.
So healthy, so yeah.
No, that's good.
No,
It's good
I'm
that you have a
genuinely so
buzz,
stoked
you
for
know?
you, though.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How about you, Pocket?
I have ADHD, so my motivation comes from, oh, I have
Duality
no
of
more content.
YouTubers.
So shut up, leave me alone. It's
No,
it's a pathway, okay? The path from ADHD child high achieving to now VTuber. But
Posting
yeah,
your
Just
toes
like
on
the
Twitter.
same person on different ends of Canada here. Like, what's happening?
real. But yeah, a lot of my motivation to get things done is like, oh, there's like a time constraint on that. And like I should probably do this. I have attempted the whole calendar thingy. I forget to put things in calendars. I think the thing that helped me the most is understanding that there are people that actually want to help and that I don't have to do it all on my own. So like obviously, you know, your content, taking your photos for all that, obviously if you're comfortable doing that, but that's not what I'm talking about. Like for me, I can't edit for shit. And I have a mod who is incredible at editing and has taken so much off of my plate. And obviously I'm able to pay them. I'm not able to pay them what I think they're worth, unfortunately. One day, hopefully, if I could give them $1 million, I would. But they take so much off of my plate just from doing that. I have like mods who are, you know, helping me with, you know, reminding me if it's like an hourly occurrence where I'll be like, oh my God, I have this idea. And if I write it down, I'm going to forget it. Mods, can you throw it in the mod chat and ping me so I remember to do this idea?
That's cute. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's like, because I think better when I'm like talking out loud than I do when I'm like sitting there trying to imagine what to do. So being on stream is very helpful for me, weirdly enough, where it's like, oh, I'm playing and obviously I'm making that content, but also, hey, I have this idea, mods, can you help me with that? Like,
no, I do that too.
Somebody assist me? Yeah.
I actually do that too, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I
Nope,
think
same.
Yeah, I think
We
understanding
have
that,
a
like,
reminders channel, yeah.
I love that. Like, I mean, I'm still working on things from my subathon that happened in October. So like,
Oh, that's
like,
a mood and a half.
yeah, like understanding that, like, yeah, okay, you know, you are only one person. There's only so much for you to do. And I've been very fortunate, and I feel like the hope is that that's the kind of community that you're creating, is that you're creating a community that understands you are one person. My plan was for today to stream at my usual time and then raid into this podcast. I don't care if this is TMI. I feel like it might be TMI, but I don't really care. And I don't think Atra cares either. I'm on my period. I am heavily bleeding.
Oh, heavens, not on this channel.
Entirely.
Mods,
sorry.
censor
Right?
that.
Hee blood. I am like
A bodily
I am-
function? Bleh.
Women? No.
Women?
People would do that?
Ah,
No.
women.
Oh my God, actually, fun story about that. I posted on TikTok as a comment in response to somebody being like, female VTuber? In a question, and I was like, women don't exist, and TikTok was like, that's against community rules to say that, and I was like,
Oh my
oh,
God.
man. I was like, I understand why, but also, man,
Stupid woke TikTok.
yeah,
Really
right?
funny though, Jesus.
But anyways, I'm like very much so dying, and I'm so tired because obviously your body is just like, oh yay, let's do this stupid bodily function. And I messaged my Discord and I was like, I don't think I can stream today. And all of them were like, that's fine. Go sleep. And I'm like, okay. and I would hope that every creator has that kind of community that is very much so like, we would prefer you not die.
Yeah.
Yeah, helpful and
You know?
supportive and actually considerate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like,
That's how you know you nurtured a good community. Yeah.
yeah, and like ideally, you know, if people do actually have they're upset over whether it's like, oh my god, I can't believe you're breaking my immersion of a VTuber, or like, oh my god, I can't believe you're not streaming. Like, I don't know, boo them out of your chat, you know, just boo them.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
boo
You
them.
don't need that
people.
negativity.
Yeah,
you don't want these.
sticky.
The Devs
you gotta
Podcast
curate and clean up
supports
your own chat and
everyone's
stuff
right
like
to
that.
menstruate, and we will always permit menstruation on this podcast. However, there is a
Actually,
separate
can I
shed
make a
that you have to go to, so you will have to go to the shed. We will.
Oh my god, not the
shed.
shed.
So I gotta make just a quick statement here. If you
Do
want
it.
the vagina, you have to accept that sometimes stuff comes out of it.
Exactly.
I'm crying.
You don't get
Exactly.
you don't get the goodie bag without finding out what's inside it first.
Mm-hmm. You tell him.
Also, I love that I'm caught in the middle between you two because I actually do have like an actively color-coded Google Calendar that has a breakdown of streams, daily things, but I don't have it down to the minute. And honestly, given the fact that I'm probably undiagnosed ADHD and also just constantly in a swirling abyss of motivation issues, it would probably help.
I also have ADHD, but exactly the organization and the hyperfocus on the organization helps me.
You got the
That's
other end of it.
nice.
I
I
have a paper
wish.
planner in which I sometimes use on a blue moon, and I will write one sentence, which is like the depths
See?
question mark, and then that's
Yeah.
my organization.
Depths? I wish, and like truly I will go through my phase of like my hyperfixation of like, I'm gonna be organized, like this week this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna get everything ready, and I'm gonna like color code everything, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I made my calendar, I'm not gonna do anything on the calendar, but I did it, and yay. And then I'll go and take a nap. Yeah. Give me part of your brain power, Fu, please. I want some.
wish I could. I
Can we
wish I
share the
could.
good brain cell?
Yes.
Precision planning. You love to see it.
I wish I could. I think I wasn't like that for the most part of my life as well. I just had to find a method, so I tried a lot of different things. Like I had
Fair.
so many different apps that should help me with that, and then in the end I just realized just normal calendar just works the best for me. So I feel like
Fair.
everyone who has ADHD just needs to find their own like way to deal with it, and I think there's not like one solution for everyone.
Oh
sadly.
god,
Absolutely.
no.
Pivoting to Marshmallow, we've got a couple questions in Marshmallow, so I'm going to grab one right here. I'm going to paraphrase this one. It's a little wordy. And I believe this is from a creator, and they say, I usually don't post anything on the website because I'm scared of my body weight. And this question is directed to all four of us. They kind of want to ask about sort of getting over the barrier of posting anything lewd to adult websites when you're not feeling entirely body confident.
This year,
So I'm
irony
gonna
that
be-
posting to those sites is what makes me more body confident.
I'll be fully honest. I know that I feel like I fall within the realm of like thinner, like average to thinner. So I know obviously like my experience is very different. I will say the one thing that my friends and I, who are, you know, on the bigger scale of body, the thing that we have talked about a lot is if you don't feel super into the photo, I feel like you can almost see it in the photo, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like,
no,
you
it
really have to,
100%
like-
picks up.
Yeah, like I think this is gonna sound really weird. If you have people that you can casually send nudes to, all my girlies understand, okay?
So straight up, actually, I do 100% know what you mean.
Okay, when I'm not feeling
My
100% about my photos, I will go Sylvana Fox, my love, my wife. I'll message her and I'm like, nudes incoming, and I'll be like, which one of these looks okay? And then she'll, because she was a cosplayer, she's done photography, so she like not only will be like the person to support you and be like, yeah, you look great, but will also be like, this one has a really great angle or something. And I think, at least from my perspective, it's a lot of knowing like what can you do that will make you feel more comfortable about posting things. Like I will like edit little things, like I try not to overly edit because again, like but my body has been a big thing for my brain as well. Like everybody, I don't think there's a single person out there that's just like, oh, I love my body. I think you can have moments and that's great, and that's when you take the sexy photos and then you edit it a little and then you throw it on there and then you don't look again. That's what I do. I don't look at them.
I don't look again.
I like throw away.
It's there.
Yeah,
throw it and look away.
Yeah, and then I just like heavily encourage my community, and I'm like, I like praise, and if you don't tell me you like these things, I will stop doing it. So if you want if you want more, you must tell me you want more.
That's really
so
effective.
smart.
Yes,
so
that is
smart.
good. That's good thinking.
You gotta threaten to take it away.
That's true. Actually, no, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong at
Anyway.
all, because people will like privately enjoy your stuff, but like not say it out loud, not like comment on
yeah.
it, not like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's like
100%.
if I don't know that you like this, I don't think that you're gonna want more of it. So I'm just not gonna put the effort
Yeah.
into making it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why would I keep doing it if I don't know, right? But also, my last little point will be truly everybody is interested in something. There is a community for every body type.
Yeah,
like
that's
for
what I would have said
everybody,
as well. Yeah.
Yes.
for
Yeah.
every part of your body. There are so
Yep.
many things that people like. There's like the typical categories of prawn, but there's also like the not so typical ones, the like ones that we don't talk about, the ones that you don't see too often in media. And just because
The
your
niche.
body might not be like celebrated by stinky, ugly white men who are in their 70s and controlling Hollywood does not mean you are not beautiful. Also, as an enjoyer of all bodies, and your resident SimTuber, please post it so that I may fangirl. Please.
No, that is a great point. Like many great points here made by Pocket. Number one,
People
support
pretty.
and comment on your
Yeah.
like, especially your small indies. Like they need
Yes.
it. They need the engagement. They need the encouragement. And
Mhm.
yeah,
We like
you are
praise.
always going to be somebody's type, even if you're not the conventional
True.
type. Don't let
Mhm.
Twitter or like TikTok or like Hollywood like define what's pretty or not. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially what Pocket said at the end is what I would have said as well. Someone will like you. Like all body types are great, and someone will like it. And
Mhm.
don't worry about it. Just try it out. And if you're not comfortable with it, try a different angle, try a different position or something, and
Different
you'll see
lighting and
people-
everything.
Different
Yeah.
Lighting
low
can
people
make all the
lighting.
difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking as a plus size girly, I do like I've definitely been there where I'm just kind of like your brain will do the thing where it's like, ooh, mean comparison time, and it's like, no, we don't need that. We don't need this. This is not helpful, nor is it kind. One of the biggest things is just being kind to yourself. And if nothing else, confidence sells a lot. So if you want to do a photo set and you're kind of like, oh, I'm not sure, put on the outfit that you think you could totally fuck in. Put on that outfit that you're just like, I look like walking sex, or just like makes you feel powerful, or
The
makes you
walking
feel
sex.
good about yourself. Yeah, no, just as if you do it, like it helps a lot. And like Pocket said, like just there's somebody for every niche. Over the last little while, I have a thing where if my community reaches a certain tip goal during stream, they unlock the titty cam. And so literally it's just like collarbones down to like just before the pelvis, that kind of shot. And the amount of positive feedback I've had about my stomach has been insane for the last little while, especially. I've had new people and old people come into my community that are just like, oh my god, your tummy, oh, your belly, oh, I love it so much. And I'm just like,
Aw.
for me,
nice
it was
tummy.
a massive it was a massive like concern point for me, because I was just kind of like, especially because like I like wearing mom jeans, and so like the muffin topping and stuff like that would happen in those, I was always like, and then like the bump before the fupa, and it's just kind of like, I'm just like, man, this is not fitting me like it would fit like somebody of a smaller size. I don't feel like do I look good in this? And then I post it and I'm like, oh, okay, apparently I
Feral.
do. All right.
Feral.
Feral. But no, it's like there's gonna be somebody for everybody in regards to a fascination. Yeah, there's gonna be people that are like, so there are some niches and some body type purveyors that will speak a lot louder than others, but that doesn't mean that what you have to offer is worth any less.
Yes,
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Applauding.
Clapping,
lot
hands and cheeks.
Yeah.
It does take a lot of courage to show yourself, especially in the space that we're in that encourages anonymity and like hiding yourself, and like, you know, you can break immersion, but can you break immersion with your titties or your cock, basically? And a lot of people don't. It's still kind of a rare thing for VTubers to do. It may seem like otherwise, but the fact of the matter is, not a lot of VTubers actually do actual sex work. So it can feel like you might be a little bit alone at times. Now, I mean, as for me, I went from being someone training for the marathon prior to COVID to a larger guy afterwards. I've got a bit of a gut now. It was tough for me to like sort of accept that about myself, and to post like IRL of myself. A couple of things did change for me. Like, number one, I bought a bunch of sexy underwear that I felt like the shit in, basically. And I wore them, took photos, and got great feedback. And again, feedback is so important, guys. And I mean, like, the other thing too.
Compliment
is,
us.
like,
Compliment us.
Yeah, compliment us.
Give me the compliment.
Be loud in your appreciation. It helps.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also just really want to shout out like other guys who do this like sort of thing, who do take photos of themselves, who like show themselves and whatever it is. Because like that to me was the biggest signifier. Like, you can do it, I can do it, you're brave, I can be brave too.
Oh.
And I'm not gonna like
Straight up,
shout these guys
yeah.
out, because I'm not gonna call them fat. Whatever. But like many guys we've had at this podcast, like you can hear me like talk to them and say basically like, I love what you do, I love what you post, I love you have the confidence to post what you do because you inspire me too. And I do want to leave you with something that from a larger LewdTuber. He's not a LewdTuber, he's an actual flesh streamer, but his name is Shalaluya. He's a fancy creator, and like people
That's an
ask like,
amazing
well,
name.
yeah, why do people want to pay for your nudes? Like, he's like, people like me, and like that's what it is at the end of the day. Like, yeah, people can go on the internet, find boobies and tits and cocks everywhere, but if they like you, they'll like your body.
Oh, yeah. I think people
They follow
forget
for
that,
parts,
like, when
they stay
you're
for personality.
Yeah, like I think
Yeah.
at the end of the day you have to remember that the reason that people like certain things when they could have maybe like free things online is because like at the end of the day humans are social creatures. A lot of us just really want to feel like seen and connected to someone, and like I have never I shouldn't say that. I am gonna say I've never met a normal fucking human being that's gonna be like, oh my god, those titties are too big, that tummy is too big. No, the fuck, that person is probably porn degen, brain dumb, stinky, and is dumb and probably is just, you know, projecting a lot of their own issues of their own body. You know, also, don't listen to Hollywood, because sometimes I look at the people that Hollywood is like, this is the sexiest man alive. And I'm like, where? Is the sexiest man alive with us? No, he is not. Okay? Get out of here. Crazy.
Looks like Hallmark cutout number 52. Like, it's
like hello. Random generated man named Adam. Like, hello, you. Random
Why would you do it to
pasty
Adam? Poor Adam.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Hello,
to all the Adams.
lovely chat.
I should have
I
said
am
John.
Kyle.
I am Kyle. I'm crying. John Smith. Will all the John Smiths come to the board?
Oh my god. Yeah, so thank you for the response to that question. I mean, obviously, to end on who asked that question, I know it can be brainworms very tough, especially when you're a small creator, to post something out there and not get any feedback, any love whatsoever. Two things: use your FYP hashtags, tag yourself, know what you
God,
are,
yes,
know your
use
appeal,
your
and tag
hashtags.
yourself. People gotta find you, especially if you're smaller. It's hard to start off doing lewd content only, believe it or not. It's hard to just like do the lewd content and get noticed immediately. It's not like an easy button like success.
For me,
Yeah,
it
you
definitely
won't
helped
appear
that
in
I
suggestions.
yeah. For me, it definitely helped that I had a Twitch community and I told them about it. And I said,
Same.
this is what I
Agreed.
have planned. This is what I want to try. Please be there. I'm nervous. And the support I got from that showed then on Fansly, and that pushed me then further. So that's definitely what helped me. So
Can
yeah,
second that. Yes.
Absolutely.
don't get discouraged if you start off on that platform and don't have like a base, because then it
even
takes, of course, longer.
Started on I started lewd, but like started on Twitch and didn't start a Fansly until like 5 months later. Didn't stream on Fansly until 7 months later. I took the time to actually grow the Twitch community and like leverage discoverability, leverage Twitter. So start with a decent sort of base of support. And that's not to say you need to do that. You know, you can, if you don't want to stream on Twitch at all and you want to do fans only, that's your right.
Totes valid.
You can absolutely
course,
be
yeah.
like successful at it.
I think it's just learning where you can promote yourself more to get that base, right? And like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
there's things like,
Also
you know,
diversifying the portfolio. just,
yes,
Yes.
like if you're
Yeah.
just on Fansly, all you're gonna meet are people just on Fansly, right? And you
Yeah.
know, there's so many creators out there that do like both like Pornhub or like OnlyFans or Foot Finder or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different sites that people push themselves on, or even just like, as much as I hate it, Twitter. Like, I mean, there's like a niche group of a lot of people on
Yeah.
Twitter or Reddit.
Yep.
Reddit, actually, that I was about to say Reddit because I actually have an acquaintance, someone that's actually a friend of my fiance's, that is the majority of her community is actually through Reddit, and she doesn't even post in subreddits, but she uses effective hashtags as well as a lot of good engagements, and then she has a really healthy Discord community that has kind of like grown that as well. And so she's like, and she doesn't do Fansly, but she occasionally does OnlyFans. But like her primary base is Reddit and Discord, and she does a lot of custom content stuff. But the reason that worked is because she knew how to promote herself, where to do so, how to do so comfortably and consistently while staying within terms of service, and still being able to promote what it is that she does.
Cool.
Yeah, we've actually had many instances on this podcast where people like, I'm like, what's your Twitch? We're gonna stream on Twitch. I'm gonna tag you. They're like, yeah, I don't even stream here. Like,
Yeah,
they are like, they're going like, in my view, like almost, I don't even want to say backwards. Like they just have the following on Fansly, and they're like, you know, I'd like to do some safe work stuff too on Twitch. I think of Andy Bun, for example, who streams quite extensively on Fansly, and is now
Andy.
starting
I'm so proud of
Twitch,
Andy.
basically, and doing ASMR here and doing well at it too. Because some people will
so
follow
proud
you
of
from
Andy.
Fansly to
Andy's
Twitch.
so good.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
absolutely.
And Twitter, by the way, because I know this is a thing that a lot of VTubers get stuck on. Twitter is not the end-all, be-all. There's plenty of people who have bigger numbers on other platforms that don't have to be on Twitter all day long, you know?
Well, the other thing
Don't
as well
be on
is
Twitter all day long.
bigger,
Don't do it.
bigger follower number, sure, go burr, but at the same time, that bigger number doesn't always equate to better engagement.
Yes.
So
100%.
go where
Yeah.
there's engagement, go where there's interconnection and commingling, and a much healthier fostering of like sharing content, not just yours, but also promoting yourself as you're not hit with the hammer nearly as often.
Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna take another pre-prepared question before pivoting back to Marshmallow. And chat, you may use Marshmallow to ask us some questions, and you may ask them in chat as well. We will get to them as we get to them. So this is about the changing dynamics when you go from safe work into lewd tubing. So the question is, when you have an existing safe work or say-so space, the dynamic can change dramatically when you embrace sex work. New people will be drawn in, others will leave, and some community members will feel left out. Have you experienced this, and how do you manage the shuffle, quote unquote, the shuffle?
I
And-
have definitely experienced. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
I've definitely experienced it. As I said, like me and my community kind of eased in, but then of course it was a big jump to go fully on Fansly and be like, hey, we're talking more openly about it, and then using toys on the streams as well. So of course I had people who were like, yeah, we're leaving, we don't like this. Some people even said, either you stop that or I'm out of your life.
Really?
Ew.
Wow.
What?
But yeah.
Ew.
Give me their
but
name and number. I just want to talk.
I just want to talk.
And
Just want to talk.
yeah, they left my life because I stood my ground, and
Well, good. Sayonara,
there was
bitch. The
yeah,
fuck?
exactly.
Well, that makes me so mad for you.
Thank you. But no, for me it's like I'm glad that they are gone because I realized who the real ones are
Mhm.
because of that.
Mhm.
And it wasn't even, I made a big statement that Atra also talked about earlier. I didn't make a statement when people were like, oh, we don't like that, we are leaving because, yeah, good riddance. I made a statement when someone came to me and said, are you okay? This is something you always said you wouldn't do. I just want to make
Where
sure,
it came
are
from a point
you
of
okay?
concern.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, maybe it's time to make a big announcement to my community and not just, okay, we're doing this now. And I've stuck to my guns and I said, this is the reason why I do this. I'm doing this because I want to, because I've never felt more creative in my content creator career, not as inspired, like at all ever. And I just want to do things and I have so many ideas and I wake up motivated to do things and try new things. And the amount of support I got from so many people who I've also not have talked to in ages was so overwhelming, and that made me so happy that I really realized
Aw.
those are the people that matter. And everyone who left, good riddance. You don't have to
Can't
like
even. Yeah, we don't even remember them. Stinky.
Yeah, I remember from that statement you said, "No one's forcing me to do this. I'm not in any financial distress. I just want to do
Yes.
this."
Mhm.
People are
I just
I
changing
want
their
to
do
mind.
think
do
that's
this,
very
yes.
sweet, though, that somebody was like, "Hey, just want to make sure you're all right," and
Yeah,
like,
I
100%.
appreciate that it came from a point of concern rather than a point
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like condescension.
Right.
mm-hmm.
When I got the message, the very first sentence was, "Hey Fu, I am concerned." So I directly thought, okay,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
one
yeah.
of it's one of those messages where they're like, okay, I'm gonna leave your community now. Just wanted to tell you. And they're like one of my founder, like they have a founder's badge on my channel. So I was like,
Right.
oh, here we go again. But
Ah.
no, he was literally concerned, and he knew that
Aw.
I went through a very dark time, and he just wanted to make sure. And then I realized, okay, maybe I should do a big statement to everyone and say, hey, I feel so alive doing this. I'm absolutely okay. I've never felt like I was so, yeah, I could express myself the way I can do now and be myself. And yeah, this is why I made the statement. And again, if people leave, they leave. But then again, do you want them to be in your community?
Absolutely.
No, totes fair. Yeah.
Stinky buttholes.
I think I got lucky in a way because like I already was like because like I said when I did the streaming thing I went through a lot of transitions and a lot of changes from like starting point A where I'm like hi everybody, I'm doing streaming, here's my face cam and stuff, and then it was like the beautiful accident that was becoming a VTuber, because that was completely not where the trajectory I was going to go, but because of a thing that happened I was like, well, I need to use a PNG for a little while, and then I was like, actually this is so much more comfortable, oh my god. And
I like not having to show my face.
Yeah.
Which and then the inevitable, like for me inevitable transition to being more comfortable, which meant that I felt relaxed, which meant I was making jokes that I wasn't making before, because it was I had a little bit of like a barrier between me and other people, and I felt a little bit less judged for it and a little bit less concerned about like people's opinions about it. And then later on I became much more your opinion fucking sucks, dude, I'm awesome. But at the same time, like just being like proud to just be myself and proud do what it is that made me happy. And I lost people even before I did the full transition into sex work because I started being more comfortable in my own skin. I was no longer as much of a doormat as well for behavior in my community that I now no longer stand for. They get like immediately a timeout and a snifted warning, and if they try anything again, my mods have absolutely no shame in using their swords.
We love those mods.
And I'm proud of them for that. It's great. But the biggest thing for me is like I found that I've grown and changed my community, and it has adapted with me. The people that have stayed are the same people who were there when I first became a PNG tuber, that were first there when I started going like, hey guys, I'm, you know, kind of a lewd tuber now. I might be getting some saucy work done with some friends, and I might be doing slightly more not safe for work jokes. I also, ironically enough, is the same as you, Fu. I was like, I'm now more okay with you guys calling me mama. Mommy still hits the ear weird for me, but it's like, just like when people were doing it and I was like my flat-chested PNG days, I was like, it sounds like you need a hug, dude. Are you sure? But like, you know, people call me Mama Mouse now, and I hated it at the beginning, most specifically mommy. But like, it's now actually a running joke that when people show up in my chat and try to say, mommy, my chat gets to them before I do. That it's like, hey, dude, it's actually mama. Don't call her mommy. I'm like, I raised you well. You did very good. You get the praise treat.
That's so good.
But yeah, so a lot of them have just straight up like they've moved along with me. So when I did the announcement where I'm like, hey guys, I'm taking kind of the big-footed step into doing actual not safe for work content, and I'm going to put my actual self a bit more on display, and I'm going to start doing streams where I'm streaming games I definitely can't stream over here. So like, you know, I hope you will join me in this transition, but I understand if you don't. Because there are some people that are in my community that are very close to me, in fact, but they don't want to see me like that, but they respect my choice in doing so. So they'll support my regular safe for work content, they'll show up in my Discord, we'll all hang out, it's great, but they actively will avoid any of my not safe for work content because for them it just feels a little weird to see somebody that they consider almost a friend, like, you know, in that space and in that setting, which I entirely respect because they still support me in literally every other way. It's just not that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can be not in for watching somebody that you enjoy as a content creator in a not safe for work setting. That's totally valid. What is not valid is diminishing and demoralizing the person and calling them, saying what they're doing is a problem just because you don't like it. And that's not okay.
100% agree.
Yeah, and I definitely lost people, but thankfully most of them are like, you know, they were quiet enough of a voice that I didn't even hear them leave.
See,
it was like a
that's what
fart.
I meant.
I was like, oh, did something happen? Bye.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like, even if you're leaving a community, like, how? I don't know if it's the right word that I'm looking for, but like, how self-centered are you that you think that I need to hear you say goodbye?
True,
you know, like I don't care. Like, okay, cool. Oh, I'm leaving because you're doing this. Okay, like, want like a goodbye package? Like, what do you want?
Hold on, I might have a participation ribbon somewhere. Like,
oh, you know what?
So
Just kidding.
yeah.
Just because you said you were leaving, you are so important to me. This one random chatter, you are so important to me that I'm not gonna do this thing that I want to do. Like, I feel like that's almost like that's very like parasocial. I feel like to think that like you are so important to this person that they would stop doing something that they want to do just because you don't want it. You know, like
it's like the emotional equivalent of somebody with the first time chatter thing that makes an opinion about like your appearance. It's like,
oh yeah,
your opinion means nothing. Get out of here.
Yeah, like I didn't ask.
Yeah.
So I do have a variation on this question, and you guys do not have to answer this because it is a sensitive topic. But,
well, now I'm intrigued.
Now I'm going to, just out of spite.
Well,
exactly.
we know
told
that
me not to,
LewdTubing and sex work and streaming on Fansly can be quite lucrative, actually. It introduces whales, introduces people who spend a lot of money on you. It introduces a new dynamic into your community in which that may have not existed like in your previous lives. Maybe you had like people who are very important to your Twitch streams who can't afford to spoil you on Fansly, for example. Whereas on Fansly, you might have a couple of people who are very generous with you. and may get more attention. How do you sort of deal with that tension of like the dynamics of your community and live streaming changing as more people are able to engage with your sex work and potentially become more, and I hate to phrase it this way, but more important to you?
I feel like in my area, it's less like importance, because I think,
Yeah.
again, I think I got really lucky with my community where it's when people are spoiling, they are doing something that is benefiting the whole community. So I often will see people being like, yeah, Giga Chad, like, yes,
Yeah,
do
same,
That's
yeah.
more.
good. That's really good.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, like, oh yeah, Chatter's goated. Yeah, 100%.
yeah, like, oh my god, do more, like, ooh, like, or like they'll like even like interact with each other, which like I adore. Like I love that my community still interacts with each other, even in a space where like, I don't know, like gooning is like typically private or whatever. But like I love that they'll be like, oh, like chat, should I do it? And they'll be like, yeah, do it. And like I think it's funny. I think it's entertaining. A lot of the people that I know that want to spoil more in private, I don't like, I'll give them their like, you know, their special attention in DMs, but like I also don't like, I don't know, like, unless you're gonna drop a lot of money, you know, like, if you gonna buy me a house, in which case sure, I'll give you extra
land,
attention.
property.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know.
You're getting a special video that is a fully nude house tour. Thank you.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
like, I don't know. I feel like I think it's really cool that, like, again, I think I got really lucky with my community where everybody's very nice and very accepting and very, you know, it's less of a, oh, well, you're not paying attention to me and it's just because he's spending money, and it's more of like yeah, like he's doing it, which means we all get the benefits of this.
Yeah. That's a good way of looking
Yeah.
at it.
I
We all
have
reap the rewards.
Yeah.
my community is very similar in that, and I've heard so much already, and I'm like, oh, who the fuck do you meet on Fansly? When new people come in and say, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I just can't right now because I can't even pay my groceries. And then I'm like, dude, that's fine. You don't have to spend anything on here.
Oh my god, yes.
And they're like, wait, you're not kicking me out directly? And chat is then like,
Oh,
why
no,
why
poor
why
thing.
would she? You know, and I had that, like, especially like in the last 2 weeks, so much that I'm like, only because you
it's tax
can't
season.
spend on me doesn't
Taxes.
doesn't mean that I'm like would like you less or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Do I like your money? Of course I do. But also, I just kind of want to hang out. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I
Your
just want to
money's
look
the
at
perk,
boobs
not
with
the
you.
point.
Yeah. Actually, wait, no,
exactly.
on that topic, I had somebody come in and we, like, my whole chat, and I laughed at him because he came in and he was like, oh, hi, like, are there any girls in here? That was his first chat. And we were like, I mean, I'm
Excuse
a girl,
me?
I suppose. and then we're like,
duh.
oh, great. Well, you know, I'm really glad that you're not like a huge streamer right now, because some of those bigger streamers, like, you know, I'm looking for a girlfriend right now, and all these big streamers just want money. And I was like,
The fuck?
you're looking for a girlfriend on Fansly?
Yeah, that's wrong. I think
was
you,
like,
you got
aw, man.
the dude.
Bro, the fet life is that way.
That's like going. That's like trying to find a wife at the strip club. What are you doing, homie?
Everybody in my chat was like, you're what? And we were all just like, dude, like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, if you're only looking for people to spend money on you, it's like, I mean, you're on Fansly. You know, the whole point of it is like you're trading a service for money, right? And I feel like if you don't want someone who is looking for, like, you know, who for monetary support, maybe find a girlfriend while touching grass. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, bro,
That's just me.
You could just go outside.
Yeah. Meet people.
It's gonna get worse.
just-
Hooters just filed for bankruptcy, so all those guys are gonna come.
Oh no! Well,
I was
okay,
gonna go
according to this dude's
apply.
logic, though, that just means that suddenly a whole bunch of women just got onto the market. So
Yeah.
But they don't want. But he doesn't want to give them his money. It's like all those guys who are just like, oh,
no,
she's
exactly.
a gold digger,
They're,
and
they're
it's like,
free
what
range
gold?
now. He doesn't have to think about giving them money. He could be like, you like showing your boobs, and I need a girlfriend.
Oh no!
Win-win.
Real. I hate it here.
Oh my god, disgusting though. That is
Yeah,
I
it was
got
very
Vietnam
entertaining
flashbacks.
though. I will say, like, it wasn't even like a moment of like, oh, that's really fucked up. Just like, just watching my whole chat all just go all in question marks, and they're like, "What?"
It's like you are a whole circus right
That's how
now.
I know I have a
Audacity.
good community.
Insane. Yeah, I just got like a flashbang reminder of when I was in a friend's, and this was during a Twitch stream. Keep in mind, I still remember someone coming into my friend's Twitch stream, who I must very plainly say it's literally was in her tags, openly statement, clear in block letters, lesbian.
I'm crying.
And
I
this
love
guy
that.
shows up and is just like, as oh, you're pretty. Space question mark,
baby.
and it's like, huh?
Space
And
question mark.
I hate it when they do that.
And then just like you have girlfriends, and she's like, kinda, yeah, why? And he's like, oh, do you want in girlfriend with me, or we share girlfriend? And it's like, and I'm sat there, and I'm DMing her. I'm like, I have mod status. How do you want this to go?
Ban? Space question mark?
Ban space
Yeah,
question mark.
space question mark.
And then he's just like, and then followed by just like, I love lesbians. We both love the women. And I'm just like, yeah,
my
you're
God,
you're
no,
going away
bye.
now.
Wait, hear
You
him
were
out.
so close to being a cool person if you had just both been like, we
Oh,
both love
fuck.
women. Awesome, you know? And just been
No,
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say the
women.
space question mark
Yeah.
fucking sent me. I had to like
Yeah,
mute my mic because I was laughing too hard.
Space
Oh,
question
God.
mark? I'm gonna start coming into everybody's chats like that. I have now creeped all of you. I hope you know.
You're welcome.
I will
I'm glad I
now
could
be
share this moment.
entering all of your chats, being like, "Hello, you like
Space
women?"
question
Space
mark.
If you do that on Fansly, I'm banning you.
Your poor mods who don't know
Pocket
who I
timed
am.
out reason.
Yeah,
Space
they're gonna
question
be
mark.
like, "What the fuck?"
That's just gonna be in the mod notes. Oh fuck. Oh, but back on track. Before I just got that, I had to tell you guys that story because
Space
God, it sent me. But yeah, so when it comes to like, my community is very much the same. They celebrate other people's good fortune and their good fortune and other people choosing to spend said good fortune on me.
Yep.
Because it means that they get to hear the coin-operated mouse, and they also get to reap the benefits that come from the goals getting reached and all this other stuff. And when it comes to private support, I really only have like one specific person who like semi-consistently gives me like, I'm essentially like their sugar mousey from time to time, and I love it.
We love
'cause
to
they're
hear
also
it.
exceptionally respectful and super nice, and every time they send me bonus support, they straight up go, I'm not expecting anything. I just wanted you to be happy. I wanted you to
Aw.
spoil yourself. I wanted this nice thing
So
for you. And I'm
sweet.
just like, are you sure you don't want anything? Because like, it's just,
That's
it's very
the
sweet.
heck? I love that.
The other
See,
thing
these
as
are
well
the men
is-
who can be like, I'm looking for a girlfriend.
Yes, no, it's- men like that, I'm like, how are you looking? How have you not found one
Yeah,
yet? You are
oh my
clearly
God.
lovely. But there's also just the fact of like, I have a thing on my stuff where it's like, if you buy something off my throne stream, what you spent can be spent on the menu that I have that I offer as well. So sometimes people will put like contributions towards stuff, and they'll be like, I'd like one of these, please. And I'm like, all right, bet. And again, like this person who's incredibly generous, and a few others as well, will sometimes buy me stuff off stream, and I'll ask them like, okay, because you chose to support me in this way, I'm willing to either honor my menu during a live stream, or I can give you a shorter version of a custom that I can do as a thank you for supporting me in the way that you have. And that's actually worked really well with these people. And the nice thing for them is like, the people who can't spend that money don't feel as bad because they can still enjoy the content. Because my whole goal, even whether it's Twitch or Fansly, has been, I want the base premise of my content to be free. It's the perks you're paying for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who I am as a person, my humor, my gameplay, as bad as it is, and like singing, ASMR, whatever the fuck, you're paying for the bonuses, not the experience. So if you can be there for the experience, like, awesome. That's great. I'm happy to have you here. And I always feel like that little tiny feeling in my heart when I feel so sad when someone feels they have to apologize either
Yeah.
for not being around,
Yeah.
for not giving me money, for all that stuff. And like, and I need to clarify this. There is a very big difference between someone who is a part of your community and goes, yeah, I had to pause my sub for the month because like some stuff came up, but I'm looking forward to when my next paycheck comes in because then I can do it again. I'm like, hey, homie, like if you need to take a couple months off, please just take care of yourself first and foremost.
Yeah.
You do not pour from an empty cup. You cannot pull blood from a stone. Don't do that. I've been there. I've been that person. I have been poor.
Same.
Don't do that. But then there are people who are like where they do donation baiting. And that is a completely different thing where they're like,
Oh, my God.
oh, well, I can't give anything right now, but if I did, because I totally am going to have this money later, can I like request this kind of thing? And will you do something like this for me? Because like I have this money and like next time I come by, like I'll happily do that. Or, hey guys, should I do this thing? We'll have to see how things go. And it's like, don't do that because that just makes you a prick. That is the equivalent of walking into the room toting about how much money you have while holding a fistful of Monopoly money. Like, get your shit out of here. Your money is worthless if your whole demeanor is trash.
I actually had someone on Twitch come onto my Twitch chat and be like, I will give you 50 gift subs if you moan into the microphone. And I think he
Give
said
me
it
the
because
money
I
first,
wouldn't do that. And I was like, okay, bro, I will do that.
You don't get free samples.
give
Yeah,
give
no
me
free
the
samples.
gift subs.
Yeah.
Give me the gift subs. And bro was like, yeah, give me a minute. I've never seen him again.
That's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
funny.
Exactly. If people are gonna, it's like put up or shut up.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's like the newer rule in my Fansly stream is like, you can't make demands without a tip. Like, hello? You don't come in here being like, can you do this? Nuh-uh. I, A, am somewhat self-respecting. And B, I have a spoil kink. So fucking gimme.
Also, just there, I don't know what it is. Like, I imagine you two have both probably experienced this at some point, where the people who are more inclined towards either spending time and or money on you versus the new chatter that shows up and seems to expect more than the person that actually like is
Yes.
spending the money.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
this weird sense of entitlement of like, I'm doing this and I want it for free. And like the people who also just rock up into because a lot of my spaces, if not all of them, are very do not RP with me. I'm not comfortable with that. I will like do a POV style ASMR on stream for you in regards to like, you know, asking for a good boy, good girl, good MB, all that kind of stuff. But do not come into my chat with an asterisk because I will immediately like red alert, like Metal Gear Solid, like nope, and
Tilts
especially if you
Fedora.
come in
Hello,
disrespectful. If you come in disrespectful and you like outright call me a whore or something like that, I'm gonna be like, aw, little bitch needs attention. Into the timeout corner with you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And I outright
It's the
tell
break.
people
Mods.
well, especially like people who I don't know why they feel entitled to use nicknames and stuff like that or pet names with me when they've just shown up for the very first time. And I've had to make this clear because somebody's like, "Oh yeah, you're my good girl, aren't you?" And I'm like,
No,
because you haven't earned the right."
Hello? Stinky now.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
For
you
me
haven't
personally,
earned that right yet.
For me personally, I don't mind that because my chat knows that I don't mind most of the nicknames. But then again, every content creator is different, and every content creator has boundaries. And you shouldn't assume only because that I have no issue with that you two wouldn't also have an issue with that. And I think that's something that some people don't really get. That every content creator is different and has different boundaries. And only because one content creator allows something doesn't mean another one does it as well and wouldn't like
Exactly.
say, oh yeah,
There's
we're
so
not
much to be
we're not a
said.
horny monolith that goes off the same rules. It's not how that
Horny
works.
Monolith. That's our new band name.
Oh my God, yay.
Yes. Watch how I play
There's
the
something
drums.
to be said for just like when you enter a new NSW creator space, just sit and observe and see
Yes.
like
Yes.
how it goes before you engage.
Yeah, pick
Like,
up on the
there's-
vibe.
Yeah.
Don't come in like cock hard or like pussy wet and being like, I need right now, give me things. You know?
It's
Hello,
like, all
I'm
right,
here
cool, where's
to
your wallet,
redeem
bub?
one singular good boy. This ticket is a piece of construction paper I made myself.
Just imagine.
I
just
do
says
actually
crayon
have
on
one
it.
or two people in my chat that are regulars that are like very lovely members of my community that have like will come in sometimes, and because I have a redeem that's like put name on body, and they'll just like one of them will come and be like, "Hi, I've come to claim my space, please. $8." I'm like, bet. And so they've worded it exactly like that before, and it makes me smile every time because it's just so cute the way they
I
do
love
it. I'm just
that.
like, all right. And then the other person who's just like, I've had a rough day, so I'm here to claim my good boy, and then I have to go to work. And I'm like, all right, baby, no worries, I got you.
Aw.
Aw. I love
Ren is
that.
very, very comfy, even on
Aw,
Fansly.
thank you.
Let's take some questions from Marshmallow, guys. Chat. Marshmallow is pinned up above. I'll try to get to them, as long as they are relevant to the stream. All right. So the question's pretty basic. Do you think you've learned more about yourself after making lewd content?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, as I said, I feel like I'm more connected to myself than I ever was before in the content creator space. So it was just that I knew who I was and I knew what I wanted. I just had to like live it out on stream, I think, and then put it into my persona. So I've definitely grown since then in a lot of regards, and a lot of stuff that I let slide or that I absolutely, where I say no, I don't want that. I've definitely been getting better with like what my boundaries are, what I'm comfortable with, but I also know that only because I have a boundary at some point that it doesn't change in a bit, because as I said, I didn't even ever think that I would do this at some point, and now I'm here like I don't know how I didn't do this earlier. And I think that's definitely something that I learned about myself, that stuff can change, and then you suddenly realize, oh yeah, that's the one thing that was missing for so long.
I feel you. That's exactly how I feel about it. I wish I started much earlier. I'm in
Yes.
my mid-30s, and I wish I started like when I was in my 20s, honestly. I would have worked through so much stuff about my body and my like attractiveness and my like desirability, rather than just dating in New York a psychopath.
I'm dead. A serial dater. I don't know if I'm trying to think what I've been learning more about like what I like. But I think I've always been like I don't think, besides like actively doing like the sex things, I don't think who I am has kind of changed at all.
You're still in
I
the
think
same pocket, basically.
Yeah, still kind of just here. At some point, I will make some silly, goofy joke. At some point, I'll have some TED Talk like rant. Like, I don't know. I think I've if anything, it's very much so helped to place in boundaries. But I think that's kind of just something that I've learned with VTubing as a whole. Kind of like what Reina was saying earlier about how like now that you are behind a PNG or behind a VTuber, it's easy to be like, fuck your opinion, I do what I want. Because I find that a lot harder to do in person than I do like in chat, where I'm like, oh, these people will back me up, and then in person I'm like, I'm on my own.
Let me ask you this, and I'm not picking on you at all, by the way, Pocket.
No, pick on me. That's okay. I'm special.
Another one you're into, huh?
But I know you hesitate to like identify yourself as a lewd tuber, so to speak. So I kind of want to like, so now that you actually do make the lewd content and that you actually do by objective means sex work, and I think for all three of you, you probably will have noticed I was very like careful about wording in your intros for each of these. But like, what is like how is your sort of like view of yourself and lewd tubing changed since doing sex work, I guess is my question.
I guess it hasn't really changed. I think the only reason I hesitate to like call myself a lewd tuber, it's not even that like, oh, for like branding purposes. It was more just like the only time I really noticed it is somebody asked me if I wanted to be nominated for some VTuber award that was like best lewd tuber. And I was like, Yeah, and like in my head, I was like, no, because that's not me. And then I was like, wait, no, I am, I guess, technically a LewdTuber, but I guess in my head, I'm not like, I don't know if it's just that like I don't feel established enough in it, that it's like, oh, I'm still learning, so I'm still like not quite there. But in my head, I'm like, we already know great LewdTubers. Here are 2 options that you can suggest or something. But like, I don't really know why.
For you, is it that you feel like you might pigeonhole yourself, or is it you feel that you might have some imposter syndrome?
Probably imposter syndrome, because I think I'm there anyways. Like, I think there's always a part of me that's just like, well, I don't know if I fit that. Like, I feel the same way about being like, oh, a variety streamer, because like I'm like, I don't know, am I a variety streamer? Or like even just being like a VTuber. Like I am very much so in the belief that like I think VTubers almost do themselves a disservice by only calling themselves, oh, I'm a VTuber,
right.
rather than like, oh, I'm a streamer that uses a model. You know, I think we very often like limit ourselves in the way that we network, in the way that we represent ourselves. And like, that's why so many people in the Twitch community don't even know about VTubers, or like think of them as like this weird other section. So like, I think I'm kind of just like a weird thing here. like it's the same thing. Like, well, even just like in VTubers in general, like I think a lot of people think about VTubers and they think, oh, okay, debuts. They think, oh, they have lore. I didn't have either of those things. I just kind of showed up and I was like, I saw one TikTok of Amelie and now I'm here. Like, and that's it. And like, I think it's more just like, I don't know. I'm kind of just, I am me, and I am as take it as you are. If you're interested in NSFW stuff, there's stuff there. If you're not, that's not. It's not there. Like, you can close your eyes and it wouldn't even be there, you know? We have a community member that is very actively, like, we joke that he is the most innocent being, because he is very like he's demisexual. He's very like removed from all those lovely things. Love him and I adore him, but he has also like coined himself as like my promoter. So anytime in my chat, he'll use all the like commands to like put up my links and everything, and he'll still put up my NSFW links, even though he's like, I don't do this, but cool, this is a thing that she does. Like,
but I want to support that you do.
Yeah, like I think it's just like it's just a side there. Like, I guess it would also be like how I used to write fan fiction before I became a VTuber. Would I call myself a writer? No, but I wrote fan fiction.
I'd call you a writer. You're my fellow writer. I'm a writer. We write together. Yeah.
Yay! I just smash a bunch of keys and see what happens.
And that's what I do too. Well, thank you for the answer, Pocket. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry, that was really long-winded.
No, I wanted you to be long-winded in that, in that circumstance. Yeah. Let me see here. I've got some other questions from Marshmallow. Give me a sec to get it up.
I keep thinking that's somebody's name, and I'm like, man, have I been forgetting somebody's name is Marshmallow?
Yeah, Chad, if you ever wanted to like rebrand right now, like this is a golden opportunity to like
do it. Do it. This is a question from Marshmallow.
I have a friend that's named Malo, so my brain just keeps thinking it's my friend asking questions.
I love it. I love it so much.
So here's a question from Marshmallow, the website. Do you think you have to have a certain look or sound a certain way to do this kind of work?
Oh God, no. No.
No.
Like, literally look at what's on screen right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Throwing this out there. There's some key differences between all of us.
So a mouse, an Oni, a pocket, and a Indian guy walk into a bar.
I'm crying. Indian guy. Why is that the way you've branded yourself?
I don't know.
Are you not? Wait, are you not like tentacle? I don't know what the technical term. Yeah,
the Inky Menace. Yes, there he is.
Yeah.
That I was like, are you a squid? Are you an octopus? I don't know.
I'm an Eldritch.
I know where this podcast is
going. I'm like you, Pocket. I have a lore, but I don't use it. I'm just some
you're
guy.
Just here. Yeah.
I'll get on stream like I'm not talking about my deep, dark Eldritch day. I'm talking about my day in the office.
I expected a New Yorker, not an Indian guy. That's how I'm gonna introduce you now. Everybody's gonna call
Oh,
me
gosh.
problematic. I'm gonna be like, this is Atra, this Indian guy streamer.
This Indian guy.
I'm gonna get
It's like a
canceled.
fucking JoJo
I was about to say
introduction.
we're all about to have
Kono Indian
blogs
guy.
written about us.
I'm
Oh
sobbing.
my god. But no, God no. There's same as how like there's a niche in like the fetishes, just straight out. Like there's a reason there's so many, there's a reason they're so various, and there's a reason why there's a subreddit for every single one of them. There are people who are into those things. There are people who are into different stuff. Like, I'm probably not going to appeal to anybody that's not into furries, or at least not, like, intrigued by it. Like, they see my gadget-looking ass and go, meh, and then they walk away. And it's totally fair.
No, it's not. What
same
the
goes
fuck? What do you mean you walk away? Follow
No,
her
listen,
right now.
90s kids, if you like Rescue Rangers, like, what are you doing?
But,
Gun to
yeah,
your
no,
head.
it's like,
Follow
there's,
her.
like, yeah, no, it's there's people who are like they like have different kinds of looks, have different sounds. There's people who like, for some people my voice sounds very comforting, especially when I dip into the Mama Mouse voice and I let them know that they're very special to me and I worry about them very deeply. And there's other people who are like, ha, ew, cringe, and then they walk away, and that's totally valid. That's if that's not what you're into,
Stop.
fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you stinky butts.
No, I do the
But
deep
at the
voice,
same
daddy voice,
time-
and people are like, ew. And I'm like, well, why are you here?
Well, you know, the best one was like,
What were
the best one was
expecting?
when you accidentally had the deep voice because you were tired and had been drinking, and it was during like your Red Dead Redemption stream the other day. And I came in, I'm like, hi, Atra, and I was like, oh, hello. Like, that was not the voice I was expecting over here, but hi.
That was like
expecting the
half a
New
bottle
Yorker
of whiskey
voice
deep.
back
I'm like,
the
Powerade.
I was like, well, good morning to me too. But yeah, no, straight up, like, you will be appealing to someone.
Yes.
There's
Absolutely.
literally no specific line. There is obviously the Hollywood standard, but none of us are the Hollywood standard. And if you are, fucking all power to you. But that is not what the actual expectation of the world is. And the other thing as well is like how you adapt yourself. I know some people who have what would be considered a like internationally like world expected level of like a certain kind of beauty and stuff like that, and then their VTuber model, they're a monster and they're cool as fuck, and like when they do their not safe for work stuff, it's based off the monster, not the person, and it's super cool. And it's like there's people that are super into that, and it's just what you're gonna be into. There's gonna be somebody that's into what you're serving. There's a flavor and a palette for every single person, and they're gonna be into it. Like, I'm literally changing my design to look more like my IRL body, so she's gonna actually have the
fuck
side
yeah.
tummy rolls. She's gonna have the belly. She's gonna have the thicker
Amazing.
thighs.
Chef's
And like,
kiss.
and I'm super stoked for it. Like, we talked about earlier, like, hey, if you want to, you know, get somebody to that you trust to like look over photos before you post something, be like, I don't know how I feel about this. There's something hitting it weird, or what do you think of this? Do you like it? I actually sent a picture to my model parent, Putty, and I was
you were gonna
like,
say to
can
your
I
mom?
send you?
That scared
Well,
me.
she's my. I mean it in a way. She's my art mom.
That's true.
And as I say, my actual mom's seen me grow up. She saw what happened. But no, like, what could I become? But I actually asked her, like, hey, can I actually send you a topless pic without a bra on so that you can see how my boobs look at rest? And I want to emulate that with my model. Can we do that? And she's like, bet. And so we did it because, for example, my own chest, it hangs a little bit low because I'm fairly heavy chested, and my nipples don't point straight outwards. They point slightly out. They do their best impression of a chameleon sometimes, and that's
Stop,
fine.
I'm crying.
People are into it.
You need a body painter to like come and just paint your body for a nice photo shot. I feel like that would be
Fun fact,
chef's kiss.
actually, back when I did the modeling stuff, I did in fact actually do a body painting thing, but it was,
Bro,
it was
that's
very pretty, but
amazing.
also exceptionally cold.
That's what
because
I
it
was
like-
thinking.
it
Oh my
was air
god.
spray. It was so freaking cold.
Mhm.
And we were in like the basement of a warehouse. It looked so sketch, but the painting was gorgeous.
Oh, that's terrifying. I'm glad you're safe.
I was about to say, I'm like, hey, I made it out alive, so we're fine. Don't get into people's basements saying that they're gonna paint you, kids. But no,
There's no candy.
All I got was paint in my mouth.
Oh,
But
no.
no, like
Oh, no.
there's no specific look or sound. If you can't do like a mommy voice or like something that's kind of more stereotypical, cute, ooh, etc. Like
Oni-chan.
straight up.
Oh my god, you guys are so supportive of me.
Like it's fine.
Yeah, it's
You sound
exhausting
like
to put that
you.
voice on.
Someone is into
Oh
it,
my god, yes.
and they'll be happy with what you got on display.
Yeah. I think it's especially true if you are femme and you have a deeper voice. Many people do, in fact, like that. And if you have a high-pitched voice, people like that too. And when I got into this, I genuinely thought first, to be a successful male YouTuber, you need to have a really deep voice.
Oh, yeah,
And
I feel like
That
that.
is such a stupid
This is a
stigma.
good
I feel so bad for guys
good
that like, get into
question
this.
for male VTubers. Please stop forcing your voices.
Yeah,
Please.
it's hard.
Oh my
I
god,
tried
please stop
forcing my
sounding like
voice,
you're
it's
trying to
hard.
turn your throat into a gravel blender.
Yes.
Stop it.
I'm telling you
Just
right
hurting
now,
yourself.
the
Just-
number of
I just
people that
stop.
I will stop watching, and obviously, if that's your real voice, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having a deep voice. What I really don't like is them Valorant players, and I say that because I am a Valorant player. Them Valorant players that
Deep
are just
voice
like,
Valorant
"Hey, yo,
daddies."
baby girl, how you doing?" Like, oh my lord, please leave my ears alone. Like, I just want to hear you. Also, if there was like a sound or type of person to do this kind of content, monster fuckers would not exist. Okay, you leave us monster
Yes.
fuckers be.
I'm the robot
Fucking
fucker.
dude, yes.
so-
Yes, I appreciate that.
I
Mhm.
just remember that when I was trying to like do this content, and like I remember, and this is not me shading my friend Maito at all, but like he had just a soft, masculine voice, like a soft, masculine but soft voice, and like I saw that, I'm like, wow, he can do this. He can use his natural voice, so can I, and it's worked really well for me, honestly, because trying to force a voice that isn't my own is just gonna make me tired and burnt out.
Mm-hmm. It can be super exhausting.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right. Chat, the depths is generally 2 to 2.5 hours long. So
Oh,
if you have
no.
any final questions for our chat, make sure you, in our chat, our panel, get them in now. We have got a
Yeah,
couple.
now we're gonna question you.
Yeah, it's our turn to question Atra.
We've got a couple, but I'm gonna skip a couple of them that are not relevant to the topic, if that's okay, guys. I will go to my pre-prepared questions again to make sure I've covered all the bases. Oh yes, I want to talk about this actually. So this is about, we've discussed this before, but I want to touch on it again on the podcast. It's about the whore Madonna complex. So for those of you who don't know, the whore Madonna complex. It's a concept where it places femme presenting people as either sexually available, aka whore, or mother-like and innocent, Madonna. Do you feel that people viewed you as Madonna and viewed you negatively after you embraced sex work?
I think the opposite happened for me.
Oh.
Like, so I genuinely do think I actually had kind of the reverse of this, because again, this has been a topic you've brought up before, where it's essentially when you're femme presenting, you're at a higher percentile of getting sexualized anyway. So, and especially if you are not afraid to have on your character things like cleavage, like thigh bulge, things like that. Oh my god, skin. But yeah, no, it's like
Typical
people who are
female
just like,
streamer.
oh my god, a bare shoulder, and it's like, calm down.
You have
But no,
ankles.
Settle down.
Baby, I
feet.
got toe beans on display. But no, like, I was already getting sexualized and like given kind of the whore concept early on, just for the fact that I like to make dirty jokes and I happen to have tits. And so, like they kind of correlated into that. Ironically enough, when I started doing like not safe for work stuff, I went from like the goofy older sister / aunt vibe to the more motherly vibe for my community. And they actually, especially once I kind of embraced the whole mama mouse thing, then there's there's a different level of like comfort that comes from them now, that they are like, oh, I feel like safe with you and I feel comfortable and I feel at home. And so I ended up with kind of the reverse of that, where once I got into like more sexual like content and things like that, people suddenly, I think it also because like naturally you kind of drop some of your inhibitions doing the work that we do, and you open yourself up and you make yourself more vulnerable, but you also kind of have to like tighten the reins on how you do things. So because I still commanded a certain level of respect while also giving comfort and a sort of soft allure, it actually pushed it into the opposite direction, where there's a lot less of the whore mentality and a lot more of the Madonna, where people maybe they don't see me quite as innocent, but they do see me as more mother-like, and people will come to me for advice and they'll talk to me and they'll feel safe in telling me things they don't always want to tell like other people that they're into, and they're welcome to shed their inhibitions themselves and enjoy and relish something that they normally might feel ashamed to do around somebody else.
That's a
I
very
think for
interesting
me-
way of subverting it.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Fu.
Yeah. For me, it was, I don't know, like people knew always that I was like very sexual and everything. I just didn't like show it so much on Twitch, especially because of like all the whole TOS things and stuff. And especially when I tried to like reclaim the whole mommy thing and everything, I think people got a gist of what I actually like and want. And I think no one really ever thought of me as like a Madonna, because I'm also a very like honest and very direct person, and I always like speak my mind. So I think like many didn't really think I'm like super sweet or anything in the first place. So I think I actually had some
sweet.
people thank you. I actually think most people just saw it coming, and I had a lot of people who were like, when I made the statement that I spoke about earlier, they were like, you know what? No, I can totally see it. It makes sense. And like not in a bad way. Just like, yeah, I've always had like that feeling that is something that helps you express yourself, and you just had to like get there. So yeah. But Chad knows like that. Yes, I like to be a submissive little thing. But they also know that we can still play Fortnite, and that they can still, if they have a bad day, they can still write me and stuff like that. So I think my community knows very well that I can do both, I think. And I think
Is
that's,
that you
that's why
saying
they
that you
support us
play
so much.
Fortnite with me? Ooh.
Yes, please! I love Fortnite!
Yay!
But yeah,
So
I think
I guess if
that's
it's
how this
personally
will-
not doesn't apply to y'all, which is wonderful, honestly, because it is kind of not a great thing for that to happen to somebody. But what do you feel about the double standard that like female streamers have? This is specifically towards femme streamers. Like male streamers can do literally whatever, nobody gives a shit. But like, yeah.
The unfortunate reality of it is like the moment that you're making content is, as a femme-bodied person, is you are going to be put into a box. I grew up very sheltered when it came to certain things, so I got a lot of the "oh, she's so innocent," but not in the motherly way, more in like a "oh, she's so cute," and like almost like
Infantilizing.
yeah, like where it was like, oh, we have to take care of her. And like, I don't listen, I like to be taken care of, but I also like, I want people to remember that like I am a fully grown woman.
You have
like
agency,
I am
basically.
Yeah, I am able to do things, but like I think a lot of people were very confused. Like when I would make comments being like, oh, I didn't know like Rule 34 was a thing. I had no clue that like I don't know. People kept saying Rule 34, and I was like, wait, but what's Rule 1? And then I got very confused.
You don't tell Rule 1, you'll tell Rule 34.
Yeah, I didn't understand. But it was like, and it's fun and it's fine. And like, I like to learn. Like, I'm learning things even with Fansly and everything. But I got more of the, oh, she's so cute, she's so innocent, and not so much the like, oh, she's a mother. But I kind of just branded myself as a whore because I was like, if people are gonna do it anyways, like I'll accept it, you know, I'll be a whore, just probably not for you. You know what I mean?
Ownership of it.
That's exactly how I say it as well. Yeah, people will sexualize it anyway, so might as well embrace it and make the best of it and just run with it.
That was the other thing. I didn't know Tifa was from a different game because I thought Tifa was from. I thought it was from the same thing as Lara Croft because I saw a porn video. So I thought they were in the same game.
That's amazing,
and then somebody's
though.
like, no, Tifa's from Final Fantasy, and I was like, no, she's from Larkred. Yeah. Anyways, so
That's rule 33, by the way, chat.
Oh my gosh.
What's Rule 33?
That Tifa and Laura Croft is in the universe.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, is that a real thing?
No, that's not a real thing.
I understand.
Oh, you're
Okay.
lovely.
Ah.
Oh gosh, my face hurts from smiling so hard.
Same.
A lot of it just comes from I am very like, and like I don't mean it in a mean way. I am very dumb when it comes to certain internet things. So I think a lot of people are just like, oh, she's so cute and innocent. She wouldn't do anything
No, it makes
inappropriate.
sense.
And I'm like,
most of my knowledge of
sex.
Overwatch comes from like Overwatch porn. Like I don't play Overwatch, I just know the porn.
Oh my god, yes. Mood.
Like the
Me
one with the
too.
robot and the one with the glasses and the guns and yeah, etc.
I just know I like big curvy snow woman. That's it.
Yes, big curvy snow woman's the best.
Women.
Women.
Yes, me and big curvy snow woman.
Valid.
Me when women.
Me when women.
Sorry, can't relate. Me when men.
Just
So
saying,
valid.
we can share.
You can share. Space question mark men.
We can space question mark.
So I'm just gonna start typing everything now. Space question mark.
Oh my god. Women space question mark.
I'm gonna
Oh my
message
God,
you
what have I
and be like
started?
Fortnite space question mark.
Yes.
Teach me to play
Yes,
DBD,
space exclamation mark.
Amazing.
All right, chat. I'm gonna combine these two questions from Marshmallow, and it's gonna be: what is a positive impact you think you had with your content after embracing lewd streaming, and what is a struggle you're proud to have overcome on your journey?
Positive. There's boobies on that site.
Oh, so true.
There's boobies on that site. I don't know. Even if you're not a
There's a veritable bevy of parts on there. It's great.
There's boobies. Yeah. There's women and pretty men and pretty envies. There's a lot of pretty people on that site, and I love it. I say it's for research. It's not.
When they're wearing nothing but their confidence, hell yeah.
I will say for me,
Good shit.
and I've said it before in this podcast, but I'll say it again. Like it's unlearning being quiet as a guy, and to like be more vocal with pleasure. I think that is the
Oh my
biggest.
I'm so
God,
proud of you
yeah.
for how loud you get now.
thing.
You're so good.
That's the biggest obstacle that I've overcome to like sort of be more vocal, because I've always grown up quiet, sheltered Asian, and like you're not allowed to make
Real.
a sound, especially when jerking
Real.
off. So it's unlearning that and like sort of like embracing male pleasure, toys, just being teased and letting yourself be vulnerable. These are all things that you get to do by making lewd content, and I'm like personally very proud of that for myself. How about you guys?
You should be.
For me, it would be definitely like I've always known I've been a sub, but being on Fansly and putting myself out there to so many people that I don't even know, I don't know, it just made me realize even more what I like sexually, and I've never felt more the way that I can express myself sexually now. I never thought I could do that ever and could feel like that. And that's definitely something that I learned about myself, about how much I actually like it and how much my fetish and what I want to do I can do on Fansly. And basically nowhere else. And combined with the fact that I just want to make people happy, that was something that I've always done. I always just want to make people happy, and have that combined with like being there for people and being so submissive, and people actually liking that and wanting to support me in that. It's just something that I didn't know to that extent, but I fully embrace it, and I love that. And that's definitely something that I didn't know about me, and I would say that's the biggest change and the biggest thing for me personally.
Hell yeah.
I'm proud of you, like deadass.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was gonna say, I love the way you talk about it. It's great.
Mhm.
I like
Oh,
listening to
thank
you
you.
talk. It was wonderful.
Oh,
It fills me with warmth. That's so nice.
thank you so
You
much.
too, Raina. I hope you know that. I feel like
Aw,
I've said that on a
lovely.
previous podcast, but I don't know if I have. But I do love the way you guys talk. This is great.
It's always good to
I
have
was-
like YouTubers talking to each other.
I was so
Honestly,
intimidated
Pocket,
because
I
you
love
all
your
have been
candor.
doing
You're
it.
so fun.
Both of you, or like all of you, have done this so much longer than I have. So I was like really intimidated.
I haven't even
to
done
come
it
on
for a
here
year.
and-
Don't even worry about it.
Still, it's
Yeah,
still
Pocket
longer
just
than I-
started.
I
Don't
did,
let
so-
Pocket
You are
fool
perfect. You are perfect.
But here's the thing: it's like you may not have had as long of a time under your belt, but you
Mhm.
have done so much with what you've had done, and that's so freaking cool, and that is
Mhm.
mad
Aw.
inspiring.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It means so much you don't even know. Thank you so much.
She's so cute. Oh my god. Kicking my feet and shit.
So cute. Yes, follow. Go follow.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Thank you
I
so much.
think-
It really means a lot.
I think weirdly enough, the thing that I like the most is like, again, and I think it's part just because it's my community, but like even when we're on Fansly, like sometimes we'll just have a moment where just like, we're gonna talk about this and I'm gonna teach you guys something because some of you, and because I know this, because I know the majority of my community is male or like mask bodied. It happens on Twitch often, but also on Fansly where it's like, I'm gonna teach you things because I feel like the men in my life didn't know this growing up, and sometimes they don't know, and I'm gonna teach you things. Like I don't know, we had a whole
Pocket out
thing.
here being educational.
Truly, like the other, I don't remember what it was. I thought, oh, we were talking about aftercare, and I was like, aftercare is not limited to like just BDSM. If you like coom on your partner's back, don't just walk away. Hello?
No.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Use lube. Your only defining factor should not just be that you have a big penis. Please use lube. Like, what is wrong with you? But yeah,
I
no, a
always
lot of
have
it.
I love that.
A lot of it comes from personal experience, and I'm like, don't be like this bitch.
Yeah.
And
I
everybody in my
feel
chat's
that.
like, oh yeah.
No, people
I
don't
always
get
have to
that because like you're watching the
Yeah.
porn and the guy just puts
Yeah,
it in.
exactly,
He does
yeah.
not. He doesn't stop
Yeah.
to pull out a bottle of like
Yeah,
Astroglide
it's-
and like lube himself up. That
Totally
doesn't
get that,
happen.
yeah.
in
Not the
porn.
Astroglide. I'm crying.
Oh, that texture.
Very
Yuck.
specific. This podcast is not yet sponsored by Astroglide.
Although we're slightly sponsored by Lovin's. I have an affiliate link. Go use the
This
link.
is true. This
Ooh,
podcast
yes,
is
use
brought to you
Atra's
by
Levin's link.
Luvins.
In multiple terms that I've said that.
Mhm.
But no, I
Yeah.
I think this kind of ties into, for me, like the same thing I was mentioning just a moment ago, like people feeling more confident and assured in asking or like requesting certain things from me, or feeling comfortable enough to ask for those things. Because like, again, I know a very large portion of my audience is, it's fairly heteronormative. I have a lot of dudes in my audience,
Mhm.
and there's a specific redeem that is definitely one of the most popular amongst them because hogok baglock. But at the same
Oh, I
time,
know the one.
I love just seeing Pocket just like the head throwback.
That was so funny.
Doing my best Hoover impression. It's great. But the thing is, my community is now so comfortable with me, and they also know that I have absolutely no, like, I do not shame people for what they're interested in. And if they ask for something I'm not personally interested in, I do not shame them for being interested in that. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, I'm not super into that myself. However, and what I'll sometimes even do is I'll be like, actually, I know somebody that does do that kind of content. So if you're looking for that specifically, here's a link to that person. I hope you come back for other stuff, but if you're looking for that specifically, here's this. This person's great for that. Because not only because, first of all, shout out your homies, but also like feeling that people can be comfortable enough to ask me like, hey, I'm actually like super into this. Could you say this to me instead? Or, oh, can I request this? I've actually changed one of my redeems recently in the last little while because people have started asking for other kinds of ASMR that a lot of times, especially in fairly hetero men, do not get to ask for, and I'm completely okay with it. And they'll combine it with a good boy and stuff like that. And I'll make sure to like make them feel as comfortable as possible with exploring that with me, and people really enjoy it. And that's one of the things I'm the most proud of, is that people can feel confident and safe asking something of me and knowing they'll get a respectful answer if they ask respectfully. It's like that balance of respect and lewd is one of my favorite things, because people can enjoy themselves and not be like, oh no, is she gonna hate me now because I asked for this? It's like, nah, baby, spread those cheeks. I'll get right in there. Like, it's fine. Ask. It's okay.
What you said about like the way they ask for it is so important, because I don't mind if you come into my DMs and give me money so I record a line where I say something that I don't think I can say on Twitch. But if you say the same line, because it's one of your first sentences in my chat during a stream, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm Big Daddy, and can you do this for me? I'm like,
I'm crying.
Bro, who the fuck are you? You know, but if they come into my DMs and like, hey, I would like this voice line, is that okay for you? And I'm like, sure, because they're nice about it, they're respectful about it, and I, in general, I don't shame people for what they like, because I have my kinks and fetishes that's not for everyone, and that goes for every person. Every person has different fetishes and what they like. So who am I that I should judge someone for liking something? So, and that's what I always say, and I'm always saying, like, even if it's not on my menu, send me a DM. Only because it's not on there, you can still send me a DM and ask for it, and I will tell you, is it okay or not? And most of the time it is okay. And sometimes it's even like, just normal things. And they're like, is that okay what you do? And I'm like, dude, absolutely no problem. Because I think like so many people are used to the fact that they get judged for just liking things. And that's something I've never understood. And that's something that even before I was doing what I'm doing right now, was always something that I was very proud of in my community. And from me as a person, that I always said, I don't judge. I just don't judge, because why should I judge what other people do, what other people like? Because I have stuff they probably also don't like, but yeah, it's none of their business. It's not none of my business.
Well, I was about to say, I think that's one of the things that we literally joked about it earlier, is like, because even if they aren't judged by like a specific person, they feel judged by the community at large, because you know, let's face it, feet guys are usually at the end of every joke when it comes to things like kink and stuff like that, because it's just like
exactly. I hate it here. I hate it here.
It's really unfortunate how often they get stepped on, but yeah, no, it's it's like the community at large tends to sometimes have like certain things where like, oh yeah, you can be a thighs, an ass, or a tits man, and it's gonna be great. And then the moment someone's like, I like belly, they're just like, what's wrong with you? It's like, dude, calm down. It's an interest. They're not telling you that they want yours. They're just saying it's something
you're
like.
sick. Now show armpit.
Yeah. Too fucking true.
Oh my god. All right. So I'm going to take this question from Marshmallow, what we have up here. It's a not related to the thing, but I think it'd be a fun question to answer before we go into sort of the final question and doing some plugs. So the question from Marshmallow is, what's your go-to game, but you can't play in public? If you're caught, what would be your first reaction? So
Honey Pop! Sorry.
Honey Pop? Really? Why is that like everyone's first game on fans?
Because it's fun!
Is it?
It was my... Actually, okay, you know what? I take it back.
Well, it's
Honey
familiar,
Pop and
cute.
Karen's Prison.
Karen's Prison's good.
Yeah. I like that one.
I'm again the outlier, because I basically have not played a lot of...
Oh my god! Foo!
I can show you the world.
I'm in Germany, and all of these games are not on Steam, because we have a very weird rating system. So basically, Honey Pop and everything, I have like just like 3 weeks ago, I got a Belgian account for Steam, so I can even buy them and even play them.
I was gonna say, you want me to send you a file or two?
I can send you my itch.io folder. Like, I've got some options.
Ooh, you want it?
Ladies, please. Foo does not have time to play games on stream. Foo is too busy getting buzzed.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair. I was
Very
like,
valid.
but that's the best part, is when the game in the background is the thing that's like, it's just background ambience while you are the game.
So yeah, this is mostly why I haven't, because they're like not as easily accessible here in Germany, at least.
That's fair.
So, and I just
I have a
didn't put
kind of
the
weird
effort in.
question then, out of curiosity, just out of my own
Yeah.
curiosity. What do you do mostly on Funsly? Because I feel like if I don't have a game going, I feel kind of like weird, and I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't know what to do
same.
now.
Same.
I find
yeah.
I do struggle sometimes with just chatting on Fansly.
Yeah, right. I'm like, what do I talk about?
I directly started, like, my very first Fansly streams were having certain topics
Mm.
or a theme. For example, a tier list or role play dates or ask me anything, stuff like that. That is usually what I do. I only had,
Okay.
I think, 2 gaming streams, and weirdly enough, even though that's all I do on Twitch is playing Dead by Daylight, I felt out of my water in that. So every time I was on Fansly, I was doing like this topic or like a theme or anything, and then when it was doing what I do on Twitch, I was like, what the hell am I doing?
That's fair.
So I personally feel way more comfortable having like a certain date idea, or I did a quiz about me, and not safe for work quiz, for example, where people could like win something. So yeah, that's what I usually do. That's what I usually do on Fansly, because that is what I meant with like I've never been so creative before, because before that it was always just okay, I hit to go live and play Dead by Daylight 4 or 5 hours 3 times a week. And now I'm
That
like,
makes
I have
so much more
ideas
sense
about...
now. Okay.
Yeah, and now it's like I really have like so many ideas that I would like to show my community and embrace it and find assets for that, make a new playlist, sound alerts, all of that, you know. So that's what I do.
That is hella creative and
Oh, that's
super cool.
cool.
That's awesome.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
losing creativity on Fansly. I'm like, I don't know what else to do.
I'm not gonna lie,
Butt
Flo,
plug
I think
IO.
you've like given me some like inspiration and like ideas now. So thank you, because that is genius. I love that.
Yeah. Wait, what did you
I'm gonna
say?
be tuning into your
Atra?
stuff more.
I
'Cause,
said
like,
butt plug
goddamn, just
IO.
I'm gonna be sat here
Oh,
with
we
like
have been.
toy and a fucking notebook, just like hold on one sec, let me just.
So yeah,
Nah,
that's
when
what
I
do.
started, I played like a bunch of femdom eroges because like I love eroge, I love
Oh, yeah, you
Japanese like
did.
eroges and stuff like that. But like they get kind of weird with the consent, and they get weird with like some of the
Yeah.
taboo subjects.
Ooh, yeah.
But the femdom ones, they're pretty straightforward. It's like gigantus, put things in his butt, things like that, basically. Like
I do have to say, now when I think of you and like Fansly content, I think ASMR, bitch and tummy shots, and like buttplug.io.
yeah, no, I've embraced just putting butt plugs where they don't belong, like Belatro.
Yeah, it's just like it's like time for Stardew, and I'm like, what site are we on right now?
Yeah.
To answer the question for me, I have a penchant for visual novels. That's my thing.
Yes.
So I 100% would have to be super careful about it, because one of my favorites is Mice T. And if you don't have hide the sex scenes mod, like the thing turned on from the menu, oh man, you're gonna get some very gorgeous art that I really shouldn't be looking at on the bus. That and Flipwitch. That's the other one for me.
Oh.
Flipwitch, because
Wait, do you
at a
like
front
that?
view,
I keep seeing it on
It's
Steam.
good. It's
try
really
it.
good.
If you like, okay, you mentioned like it's like side scrollers and stuff like that. This one is really good. And it's really
Okay.
fun, and the animations are peak. They're
It's
so
Okay.
good.
I actually
good
wanted to
platforming.
try it out next week for Fansly
Do it,
because
do it,
people
do it,
kept
do it.
Alright.
recommending it, and I
Adding
actually
it
wanted to try it.
My wish list.
No, highly recommend. The one thing I could say about it that I don't enjoy, and this is an issue I have with most like sex games in general, is a lot of them are quite heteronormative. So I can't get much guy on guy or girl on girl action.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I actually really liked Mice T, because 2 of your potential romance options are, and 2 of your potential romance options are, one's a trans allegory, one is straight up an actual trans person, and the other person is a femme presenting woman, and the other person is a masc presenting man, and like you can romance any of them, and
I
it's
love
great.
that.
And the paths are so good, so good. But I definitely could not look at that or Flipwitch while like out and about,
Yeah,
or
Raina, you
play it
need to, if
accidentally
you
on Twitch
haven't
one day.
yet, you gotta check out Cloud Meadow. I think you might really enjoy that.
I've played it. I have. That was actually one of the first things I ever played. I played Cloud Meadow before I was even doing toy streams.
Oh.
Because I didn't start doing toy streams on Fansly until Mother's Day of my first year of doing Fansly.
That was Mother's Day.
I think I nicknamed it something like make a mother out of me, breed the mouse day, or something
I
like
love
that.
that. I like that.
Oh,
That's
so
funny.
Look, if
Wait, what
if
am I
I'm
doing
gonna
Father's
do
Day
a
then?
thing or an event or something like that,
Let
let me
make
fill
you
you Father's
Daddy
Day.
Day.
Impregnate you day. Make me a Father Day.
Make me
Blab, blab, blab. Get pregnant.
Get pregnant.
yeah.
Get pregnant.
Blab, blab, blab.
Get pregnant.
Get pregnant.
Oh gosh.
God. Oh my God. Someone take this whiskey away from me.
Oh,
I had Kahlua before we got into this call, so
Fuck yeah.
I'm sober. I'm just fucking dumb.
no, it's honestly it's. I always get nervous when I'm meeting new people, so I'm just like a little sippy to calm the nerves.
That's fair. I only get anxious after meeting people. I'm like, yeah, I love meeting people. And then later I'm going to be like, man, I
Did they
talk
hate
too
me?
much. Fuck.
It's
No,
like
I
they
think both
hate
of you are
me
very,
now.
very lovely. So thank you so much
Aw,
for
thank
welcoming me to
course.
this round, even though I'm not so experienced like
I'm
you.
happy
guys
to
are.
welcome you.
Oh, shush.
The
Shoo,
fact
shoo.
that you have
and
just
you are
started
clearly
is
very hardworking and doing
exactly.
such a good damn job.
Exactly.
Thank
I
you.
think that's another thing that I love about at least the lewd tubers that I know is that like everybody there has been very like accepting and very wonderful and very helpful. Like I don't think I could have gotten started if it wasn't for Mystique like sending me like a good like checklist of things to note like when I first start, or like I don't know, like me going to Atras DMs being like I can't figure out buttplug.io.
Okay, straight up though,
That's-
I'm already
yeah.
like I have to harass Atra for stuff like that too, because I'm just like I'm
I'm
dumb.
I'm still confused.
Please help.
What me and my mods have learned is that Marvel Rivals and buttplug.io is not very helpful. It's not good.
Oh no.
Because I think Marvel
Yeah.
Rivals just keeps updating and it's just stinky.
It shouldn't work with a game like that, but we'll talk.
It
As
does, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
As I don't really consume others on Fansly than Atra. Atra was also like the person that I could like go to and be like, hey, I have an issue with that, and I actually wanted to thank you so much for that as well, because I didn't know any other VTubers that did lewd content, so you were always like the one for me, and I always like
Aw.
looked up to you, and
Am I your one?
so you are.
One for me.
So
Now I'm getting jealous.
you
What the
invited
fuck?
me,
Move over, Atra.
so when you invited me to this, I was like, oh my god, Senpai noticed me. So,
Please.
I'm dying.
so really thank you for that, because yeah,
Well, thank
it's,
you.
it means a lot to me.
Well, I appreciate all of you. I adore all of you. I've known all of you for quite a bit at this point. And it's been interesting to see you guys through your NSW journeys. Which leads us into our final question of the night, which is, what advice would you give to somebody who is currently purely doing SFW and say-so work, but wants to get into lewd tubing, but is a little afraid of the many uncertainties about doing sex work and lewd content?
Stand your ground,
Um,
be yourself.
Yeah, 100%. I do unfortunately have to like dip exceptionally quick here after, because as I mentioned,
Oh yeah,
I let Atra
Your
know
power goes
I have
out,
a
right?
I have a planned power outage that's supposed to happen in like 2 minutes.
Oh
Oh
no.
shit!
Okay,
Do a plug right now. Do a plug
yeah,
right
no,
now.
there's a reason I was like, hey Atra, but yeah, no, to answer the question,
No,
be
fuck the
proud
question.
of
Do a
yourself,
plug. Do a
be
plug.
confident, all that shit. Do what makes you happy, but don't lean over your own boundaries to appease other
Yes.
people for the potential of money. It is not worth it.
Yes.
Real quick shill. Hi, Raina the Mouse, Raina Love on all of the saucy sites. I do a variety of things. In particular, I've got like at least 2 to 3 streams every single week on both sites. And quick shill, I have a final model push happening during the first week of April called the No Fooling Model Push, because it's happening essentially at April Fool's, where I'm going to be streaming for a week on Twitch and on Fansly to raise money for the model I'm going to be getting. I'm getting a fully updated version of Reina 2.0 that is more into who I am as a person and what she looks like, all that good stuff. So please, if you can, that'd be awesome to tweet you around, or if you could share it around, that'd be super cool as well. Either way, I'm going to be doing a lot of stupid stuff and doing it as best as I can. Somebody asked earlier if I do actual IRL content still. Sometimes, yes. In fact, during that week, I have 2 cooking streams that I'm going to be doing, one on Fansly, one on Twitch, and both of them will be my IRL body cam, where you guys are going to see me make recipes from cookbooks that have actually been bought for me by my community.
Oh, that is so nice.
Is it the cum cookbook?
I have like 3 different ones. One of the Necronomnomicon, one is the Hobbit's cookbook, and then I also have like a Josh Wiseman and a Baking Yesteryear. So I have some stuff.
It's not the cum cookbook.
It's not the cum cookbook. Okay.
Sadly, no, but send me a link and I'll add it to my throne because I'll do it. Look, I did lube cocktails. There's no stopping me. But anyway,
gross.
thank you so much, Atra, for actually they were really good. I will send you the link. They are delicious.
No
but
way.
thank you so much for having me, Fu and Pocket. It was absolutely delightful to meet you both. I have followed you on all of your stuff because you're both so fucking cool.
Stop,
so
I'm gonna cry.
hopefully I'll get a chance to see you guys again sometime in the future. I'm gonna drop myself down real quick just in case my top comes off before I disappear. Bye.
Bye.
Stop, I'm crying.
Look, I didn't want to flashbang chat and get Atra in trouble. Okay, bye.
Oh my god.
Bye right now.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
That was the best exit ever.
Truly. How are we now we just have to end stream, I feel like. Like I don't think
Yeah,
we can
no.
do anything now.
Say goodnight for no, I'm joking. We gotta get you guys the
That's
chance
so
to do plugs
funny.
and such.
Oh my god. I always meet the funniest and like greatest people on this podcast. It's so entertaining.
Nah, no, but the last time you were on this podcast, we had the first and only person storm out of the pod.
Stop!
Wait, what?
I wasn't sure if we were supposed to talk about it.
Now we can
Eehee.
talk about it. The guy's a clown.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So this was I was very scared. I was like, oh no, is today the day? And I was like, no, because both of these lovely beans were wonderful.
Now we've learned quite a bit about how to structure the pod and vet people.
Amazing, wonderful. We're learning, guys, from number 9 to number 48.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So my final thought on this, guys, like, and they've alluded to it themselves, but like, if you have a community that's strong norms and that you enforce those boundaries, your community will help you enforce those boundaries. When a weirdo comes in, your community will jump on them. Your mods will jump on them.
Yes.
You won't have to do it yourself. So don't be scared, because once you engender people in your community to like know what you're about and what you feel comfortable with, they will want to protect you. And that's one of the beautiful things about being a VTuber and being on this space.
Yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I think just like it's okay to like even just consider it, try it, and then if you decide actually I'm not really into it, that's all right too. Like I
That's
think
also okay, yeah.
yeah, I think there's something in us naturally in like the creator space that's like, you know, if I try this, there's no going back. There definitely is. You know, you can always decide like, oh, actually, you know, this isn't really for me. JK.
Yeah.
And then
It's
fade away.
absolutely fine, yeah. This is what I meant with stay true to yourself. Like
Mhm.
I remember the first stream I did on Fansly, I very, very openly said, I don't even know if I would ever use toys on the stream, so don't come here and expect that, but also don't be surprised if I change my mind. And
Hee
yeah, I just learned with each stream more what I want, what I like, what my community likes, and what makes me happy and what makes them happy. So as long as you stay true to that and only like stick to your guns, and yeah, as Reina also said, like don't, only because someone like baits you with money, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And
stay true
as
to
Fu has
yourself.
said, streamers have the right to change their minds.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, this has been the Depths Podcast, episode 48, the Lewd Pivot, the sex work pivot. We talked a bit about what it takes to sort of pivot to sex work, the decisions in doing so, and the value experiences and things that you gain along the way. Know that while this is not an easy path to getting popular, getting famous, or getting money, it can be worthwhile for very many reasons. We always on this podcast caution you against getting into sex work, but we'll always speak to the fact that it is a validating and beautiful thing for us. We're gonna give our panelists a chance to do some plugs. Starting with Pocket. Pocket, what have you got going on?
Recently, I'm doing what? Oh god, like 3-4-ish streams on Twitch every week, and then 2 streams on Fansly. I'm hoping to be putting out a lot more song covers because that's one of the things that I wanted to do this year. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know what else to say. I'm really bad at introductions and stuff. I'm just here. If you want to see really bad gameplay or just listen to me ramble about my life and the crazy shit that happens, or sometimes my dreams. Oh my god, yeah. I talk about my dreams on stream sometimes, and chat makes fun of me because I don't know where my subconscious comes up with these things. So, yeah. That's it.
Guys, follow Pocket. Pocket is a ray of sunshine. An absolutely bubbly, fun person to be around. Mystique adores them. I adore them. And
I love you
support
both.
them on their sex work journey and their Twitch endeavors as well. Tay, sweetheart, if you can get me also the cards and like websites of our streamers today so that people can follow them on all platforms, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. This is me again, like summoning the mods. Mods, do the thing.
I need help.
Mods, I need help. Mods can't Google right now. And
Honestly,
Fu, how about you? What you got going on?
So, I stream 2 times on Twitch, and as I said, I'm a one-trick pony. I play Dead by Daylight and nothing else.
That's okay. One of these days, I'm gonna come bug you and be like, "Can you teach me?"
Sure. I always like to
Perfect.
teach new people Dead by Daylight because it's a great game and I love it, and I have over 2,000 hours in it, so I'm quite decent at it as well. So if you
Amazing.
want to see that, yeah, follow me on Twitch. But if you want to have fancy streams with a very submissive little flame general, then I am definitely the girl for you on there. With, as I said, most of the time on Fridays I do special streams with a certain theme, be it tier lists or be it a role play date. And yeah, I started incorporating a game stream since last week as well. So I'm still looking if that's really what I want to do on Fansly, but I will definitely be doing one next week with a hentai game. So, but yeah, mostly you find certain topics on there, and yeah, I have a very active menu, and I won't judge you for whatever you want. Just shoot me a DM. My DMs are open as well. So yeah, I hope to see you over there.
Thank you so much. I've said it a couple times on the pod. I'll say it again. I'm proud of you, and thank you for putting aside your reticence to be on the podcast. I really do appreciate it.
Thank
You're doing
you.
amazing, and
Thank you.
while I am, I guess, surprised that you chose to do sex work, seeing the result has really made me feel like you really know what you were like getting into, and I really admire that. So, yeah.
Thank you. It means so much to me. As I said, like when you wrote me that I want to be, or like if I want to be on this podcast, I was like, oh shit. Oh, shit.
We're just a
So,
bunch
yeah,
of little guys here. It's okay.
it meant a lot to me, and thank you very much that I was able to share my story, and maybe it inspires someone else to also just take the leap, because for me it was basically just take the leap, and it was the best decision I've done in years. So yeah.
So proud.
Absolutely. So proud of you. And
Thank you.
as
Thank you.
previously mentioned, Reina streams on Fansly and Twitch. They're doing a donathon soon. Go ahead and check them out. Reina is one of the people that inspired me to do Lewd tubing, so it's always great to
Aw.
have her on here.
Aww.
And
I
I've been
love
your
that.
host, Atramentum_X, Rise streamer and LewdTuber. You can get all of my links on Atramentum.inc. That's Atramentum.ink. I am streaming almost every day on Fansly and Twitch. Depends on the schedule. Go ahead and follow my Twitter to find that out. And yeah, I do not know when the next episode will be, because I may be deploying to do some animal rescue stuff in a few weeks. It's not confirmed yet. So we may resume in late March. And let me also have a special sort of mention for Lady Mystique, who wanted to be here tonight but is traveling and feeling quite ill right now. but would have wanted to be here if she was able to. I did get to see her myself in person this week, and she gives all of you her love.
I miss her already.
We're gonna do our outro. Our outro will just be the same intro as stream today. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good
Like and
night.
subscribe.
Hey everyone.
That's the wrong one.
Oh, that's so funny.